Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again. Always with another one, and yes, indeed, it is another one. Yes. So yes, it's times are getting very strenuous out here for all of us over here in America. Shout out to all my American citizens out there. Mad love to y'all. Real talk. Mad love to you guys, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So yeah, man. I wanted to speak upon this situation today because it's very vital that we do so. It's very understanding that we need to actually have these talks about these topics right here, you know, the immigrants and things like that. Kamala finally going to the border after all these years. And also, you know, a lot of other things. Texas is also cracking down, you know, and they're trying to get their shit together out there. Shout out to what Anton say, shout out to Governor Wheelchair, you know, for real though. And shout out to Governor Wheelchair of Texas doing his thing, laying the law down. So yes, man, I feel like these things right here need to actually be talked about, you know, and we all are dealing with the problem here of the inflation, the money not acting right in this country. Gas is crazy, food is crazy, and it seems to me that they're just wanting to try to give people that ought not be here, you know, the money just for being here. And I find it saddening that we're living in a day and time to where we are allowing our institutions and our own governments and our own people to turn against us. And you know, if you have to really look at it like that. As a citizen of this country, you have to really understand, and you have to sit down and look at the facts that our legislatures, our congressmen, our people that are supposed to be in charge of running America, keeping us safe over here as citizens and stuff like that, have turned their backs up on us. They turned their backs on us. Period. You know, and yeah, we're gonna see some things here. But first off, we're gonna go here like we always do. Let's step off into it, real talk. Yeah, the beautiful ladies of the world. Let's go here now.
Reasons to have two wives.
You'll always have
Two pairs of hands. You'll always have two options.
the food
Or
Yeah, the heart one. Beautiful. You don't see much of them. Our girl Jack Style. Look at her. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you already know what time it is right there. The Asian persuasion, yes. The chocolate drop like talking about. Yes, shout out to all the beautiful ladies of the world. Yeah. It is what it is out here, man. Shout out to all you guys for real though. Thank y'all. Tuning in and out, however you want to do it. You know, it is what it is. The show gonna keep going around here. So, all right, we're about to dive off into Dean Bat Time. Let's see, Dean Bat Time, and we're signing in now. Oh! Yes, understand and relax yourself. So let's go here now. Let's check this out. We got a little situation here. Let's do this.
God created man to be the provider.
God
Why is
didn't
it this
create,
way?
wait,
Yes,
God
he
did not create the modern social order of chivalry. That was not a creation of God, that was a creation of man.
If you look at this, like the Bible, and read the Bible and the New Testament.
I've read the Bible many times. Where should I look in the Bible for men pay for dates? Is that under, I just made that up, chapter 9? Like, where can I find that in the Bible?
You can look at husbands love your wives and wives submit to your
I'm
husbands.
sorry, are we talking about husbands and wives? Or are we talking about dating?
Yeah, you're right. There's not too much about dating in the Bible, if anything at all.
Yeah, there's not too much, is there? Because what we have is we have a societal construct for how that works, and appealing to the Bible and saying this means that men have to pay for dates. Well, where? Why? I mean, how do you even come to this conclusion? It's such a massive leap. Why should men pay for a date in modernity with women? What are they bringing to the table? Are they bringing chastity and virtue and virginity? No.
Hold on.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Now, yes, clearly we all know that there's nowhere in the Bible that says shit about dating. It's nowhere in there. I don't care. You can reword the words in there all you want to, whatever you want to do. It's nowhere in the Bible that says anything about you have to date a woman or spend money on a woman, whatever. So yeah, they're sitting around here. Of course, we live in a bat society where everybody thinks, with the bottom of their assets instead of the top of their damn brains. So it just is what it is, man. And yes, the dating situation is a construct that we as mankind came up with to kind of, deal with each other as men and women. And these are just facts. This is something that's man-made. God didn't say not one time that at the end of the day, you had to take a chick out to fucking roof crest. God didn't say that shit not one damn time.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
That's not even how that goes. So, everybody wants to bring up the Bible and all this other type of stuff. Well, God said that, as a man, you're supposed to do this and that. Well, yeah, he didn't say shit about having to spend $1,000 on your ass to eat. That's not how that works. Jesus Christ. It's crazy out here, but it's just the truth, though. You know what I'm saying? We want to sit around here and act like the truth is not reality, but it is what it is. All right, so on this next joint right here, we got Love Dorsey in the broadcast room. Shout out to her. Shout out to Love Dorsey. So, all right, she got something to say. Here we go.
Doing bad with a man when I can do bad all by myself, or I can do better by myself. You don't have teamwork skills. You don't work well with others. Bitch, you don't know how to communicate. Ho, you don't know how to operate in a household where everything don't just go your way. That is why you do better by yourself. Y'all mamas didn't tell y'all this part. They told y'all the first part, well, you shouldn't be struggling with a man. She ain't tell you that if you don't acquire the skills to work well with others, bitch, you won't be able to do better with others. This is why a lot of y'all don't understand the concept that you can be in a group or a team and things should be going better. But if y'all don't know how to organize, if you don't know how to manage emotions, if you don't got boundaries, you will use one another up. You will always feel like a victim if you don't have goals and the right mindset. If you can't take personal accountability for your choices, you will be in a space where it will feel like it's worse with a partner than it is by yourself. Y'all be thinking y'all be knowing everything and don't be knowing a fuck thing. Typing up these posts with great attitude in them, you could tell. Don't argue with me, argue with your mammy. No, you should actually go argue with your mammy for telling you that half truth. She didn't bring it all the way full circle. The shit you run around saying to niggas don't make sense. Well, why would I stay with you and struggle when I can just be? It works out well when you're by yourself because you don't know how to work with others.
So, yes, the people skills out here, people. It's the people skills. And, in previous generations, I'm an early millennial. They used to teach us people skills and skills how to work with, other children and stuff like that in school. They used to teach us that. That's what used to, what was it called? Recess was for. You go outside and play with other children. You learn how to interact with other groups, and it also taught you your place in life. You know, what group that, you know, gravitated towards you and you gravitated towards. That's how things used to work growing up in schools. Now, you know, this new age crap, I don't know how things are going on in school nowadays and how they, you know, the group settings are running, but that's how it used to go. You used to learn your place in society in middle school and high school. Because of course, you know, elementary, elementary is elementary. But in middle school, you started to figure things out. In high school, you knew what place that you was in. In college, you definitely knew what the fuck you was supposed to been doing.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
So, and these are the dynamics that a lot of people haven't learned in today's society. Of course, you know, everybody doesn't go to school, or at least college. And, you know, once they get out of high school, things like that, life falls off, shit goes different ways, back and forth, whatever. But yes, these are tools that used to be taught to children growing up. We used to have social skills before social media, all this type of stuff. We had to interact with people. We had to talk to everybody. We had to have friendships. I'm talking about when you actually had to talk to people physically on a consistent basis in order to keep that friendship going, in order to keep that relationship going. You had to put in the work. The internet has taken away the advantages of having to put in the work. That's why everybody don't have fucking people skills no more.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And that's just the case. You know, a lot of women don't have skills to work with other people and stuff like that. You know, definitely one thing to get your people skills up, you definitely need to maybe go work in restaurants and stuff like that. I'm not necessarily talking about fast food. I'm talking about actual sit down restaurants where people come and sit down and things like that. Where they help you get your people skills up. Jobs where you're working with other people and stuff like that. I suggest a lot of people do that. All right. On this next factor right here in the Dingbat time, excuse me, guys, we got Miss Pat. If you all know who she is, she has a television show, and she also has like a judge show as well. But Miss Pat has something to say about, you know, how women are dating and things like that. So, you know, let's just see what she has to say.
Really want a man? Yeah. Then stop sucking in the first week. How should any man respect you when you showing it all? Let me look at the camera. I'm 52 years old. Yeah. I've only had 3 sexual partners in my whole life. Whoa. Because I was raised the right way. Don't do that. I was raised good. I got a good ass mom. How many sexual partners you had? I don't tell my business. Just like your look, just like you don't tell your business, I don't tell my business. When I was young and my stomach was flat, you couldn't go outside and show your body like that. Right. You couldn't show your titties. You had to be respectful. I don't know what everybody look like a hoe, but everybody want to be treated like a queen. Then not only that, black women never did cosmetic surgery back in the day. Every black here getting their lips pumped up, all you shaped like ants, and all you got, a big black ant. The problem wrong with America with women, they no longer build the man. First of all, when you get a man, you getting him from his mama, or you getting him from the last bitch. So you got to take that man, and you got to shape that man in what you want him to be. Time he ain't got no money. I got to get up out of here. Let me say this to y'all. I spent 31 years with this when he didn't have the best job. He went to General Motors, spent 22 years building the car some of y'all driving today. When I got the Miss Pat show, I looked at him and said, you can retire. You know why? Because he took, when my rent was $69 on Section 8, that paid my rent. Do you hear me? I hear you. Relationships ain't like that anymore. Y'all don't want it.
Okay, see, here's the deal. Now, I'm gonna start it off right here for what she had to say at the very end right there. I'm gonna start off like this. Now, of course, you know what I'm saying, she 50, so times were different back then. She said, you know, the dude paid her rent when she was on Section 8, stuff like that. You know, of course, you people nowadays, you sit there like, well, okay, he paid 60 something fucking dollars and this and that, woo to woo. All right. All right. The reason why I started off like this, because yeah, back in the day, $60 was not just easy to come by like that. Like, you know, $60 is hell, it ain't, you know, shit today, but $60 actually meant something to a small degree. But all I'm saying is, though, from what she's saying on the big picture side of the situation, is that yes, back in the day, men and women used to get together and they used to help build each other. You know, it was like fucking Legos. And if you are an older guy like me, you remember growing up with Legos and stuff like that. And you had to build things. You had to put it block by block. You had to take your time to structure whatever it was that you was trying to build. You had to place the strategical blocks in a certain type of place, and then you have to have the certain blocks that cut the certain way. But yeah, though, and goes also for relationships. You have to want to build with somebody, and you have to want to pour into somebody and make sure you take the time to do so. And that takes time. Nowadays, we live in a culture to where everything needs to be fast, speedy, Gonzalez type situation. If it don't happen tomorrow, fuck it, I give up. We just can't take our time to do anything, and that's not going to work for a solid relationship or trying to have anything. We live in a society full of a bunch of quitters. Basically, we live in a society with a bunch of quitters. Everybody wants to quit real quickly when things don't happen right, or you know what I'm saying, everybody takes their time, and it's too much drama and this and that, which I get the drama sometimes. Yes, it will destroy anything that you're trying to build, but yeah, man, it's no real building going on. So yeah, it's not going to be any solid relationships at all with no building. That's out the window. All right, so we got a sister right here stating the facts about how most black men feel about the Democratic Party in the 21st century here. Let's go.
Blame black people for this. Why we gotta keep saving folks? And black men have been emasculated in the Democratic Party. That's real. They don't see themselves, because to lift up black women is beautiful. We should, but not at the expense of black men. We have achieved what we have achieved so far in this country because we are together. And we can't pick up other people's bad habits. Now, white women may be able to lead a white man by the side of the road. Sisters can't do that.
Well, hey. The thing of that is that sisters have already left black men by the wayside, or vice versa. However you want to put it, it doesn't matter. The thing of this is, and also to look back on the situation when most of the white women included black women in the feminism movement after so many years and things like that, and maybe a decade or two, the white women abandoned feminism to a certain degree and kept their husbands out here.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Why you think that the majority of Caucasian families and Caucasian people, period, outnumber black people in this country? If you don't believe it, look up the stats. White women weren't stupid. They were going to always not abandon their men, but they wanted what they wanted, so they fought for it and stuff like that. They included the black women because black women were, definitely seen to be strong women. And I'm not talking about strong in a way that was over masculine back then, but back then women were ladies back then, and they still had a nice little fight that white women, liked about black women back then. So they used it for their advantage. And yes, it's come to this point here now to where black women have taken on the feminism movement solely because the the vast majority of white women are not that invested in this feminism movement and needing, super equal rights. They got what they needed to get out of the movement, and a few generations later, white women got out of it. Black women stayed in. And that's just the truth. Black women stayed in, and to their detriment. And this is the reason why we're at this point that we're at now. All right. So I got another situation here that I'm about to pull down in at this time in the dingbat time, and this is going to be a very serious situation. Excuse me, guys. I'm a little tongue tied today, but this is going to be a very serious situation here. We're having a problem with our ports as far as our shippings from our sea shippings and stuff like that, to where they're about to go on strike. Actually, tomorrow, if you're listening to me right now, today's Monday, the workers of the ports and different places like that are about to go on strike tomorrow. And this involves our shipping, foods, goods, and services, clothing from other places, cars, a lot of goods that we get from overseas, car parts, things like that, that we need to keep society going and stuff like that. And we're having a situation with our people that work on the port yards and stuff like that, and they're wanting their fair share due. So listen, look, we're about to go here now, and we're about to check this out. Let's listen now and see what's going on here.
Morning, a strike is looming at ports along the east and Gulf coasts that could cost the American economy billions of dollars per day and potentially lead to shortages for consumers.
A strike of this magnitude would cripple the U.S. economy.
Dock workers represented by the International Longshoremen's Association are threatening to go on strike Tuesday. The strike would affect 45,000 workers and close to 36 ports from Texas to Maine. Analysts warn a walkout lasting more than a week could lead to major supply chain disruptions. Anything imported could be delayed, including fresh produce, toys, alcohol, and vehicles and parts.
Oh man, hey, listen, look, that's a lot of things. That is a lot of things that we're going to be missing over here, and especially shout out to all you guys out there. I know y'all like y'all alcohol, your cognacs, your bourbons. Oh yeah, you know, and the ladies too, with your French wines, red wine, stuff like that. Hey, listen, look, man, not only just that, but this is a very serious situation that we're in here when we're dealing with these people that are basically our backbone in society to import our goods and things like that, from Texas to Canada, also with Miami. I think, of course, out there in California is involved as well. This is wild right here. Let's keep going.
Some experts warning, if you need your car repaired, get to the dealership now.
If there's a prolonged strike, you could see shortages with fresh fruits and vegetables. Obviously, the automotive parts sector will be impacted.
The Port Workers Union is demanding higher wages and a ban on automated cranes, gates, and trucks. The U.S. Maritime Allowance, representing the ports, claims the union isn't bargaining in good faith.
So basically, they don't want them to bring in too much automated shit, which of course I understand that will put a lot of them out of work. Too much of this AI, too much of this technology will put humans out of work. And these are substantial jobs. These are high paying jobs out here. These are those super 6-figure jobs that, you know, every woman nowadays, well, I want a man that makes 6 figures. Yeah, there you go right there. There you go right there. There you go right there. These are these super paying jobs and stuff like that. These men are out here technically also risking their lives to do, dealing with those big ass containers and tankers and ships and shit. You know, these are the jobs that we need to keep having here in America, so us as American citizens can keep having a substantial life over here, and the money could keep funneling in our society like we needed to do so. These people that make this type of money right here could afford to buy certain types of homes that helps the economy. They can afford to buy certain types of food that helps the economy. That trickles down to also paying the taxes that's needed for all these other situations that, you know, your Section 8s and all this other type of stuff. You know, come on, people.
The Maritime Alliance has filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board in hopes of getting the union back to the bargaining table before Tuesday's contract deadline. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, hopefully they could get this resolved out here. Hopefully they could go head on and, make some things change, because this is ridiculous right here. We definitely need those individuals to have their jobs, to have their careers, to have us, you know, to keep shipping things in for us, you know, unless you know, want to go to the grocery store and don't have anything anymore. I mean, you know. Okay. All right. So that was your Dingbat Time. Dingbat Time signing out. Yes, shout out to you all out there. Shout out. So, okay, that was Dean Bad Time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Dean Bad Time. And yeah, we're about to start diving off into the main situation here that actually needs to get talked about as well. And so I got this one. We're going to start off here. And we're going to go here now. And we're going to check on this situation right here about the illegal immigrants and stuff like that. And we're going to deal with the border situation. We're also going to talk a little bit about, Kamala. She visited the border recently here and things like that, maybe a day or two ago. So let's go here now. Let's check this out.
Well, a disturbing development on the border crisis. Wait until you hear this. The Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
Damn.
The letter here tells the tale. Hello, I'm John Roberts in
Terrifying.
Washington. You believe this, Sandra?
Which means they are here. And this is just an unbelievable development. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. Good to be with you, John. This is America Reports. Let's get right to Bill Malugin. He's got this news for us. He's live out of Douglas, Arizona right now, where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit later this afternoon. Bill, the details of this news, what do you have?
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean. ICE has something called a non-detained docket. Essentially what that is it means migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody. So who's on this non-detained docket? It's illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border, released with the court date years away. They're in immigration proceedings, combined with illegal immigrants who have already been ordered, deported from the country by a judge, but are still here roaming the country. So keep that in mind, this non-detained docket. According to a letter that the acting director of ICE just sent to Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, on ICE's non-detained docket, they're currently tracking 425,000 non-citizens who have been convicted of a crime. Of that number, over 13,000 non-citizens have convictions for homicide and are on the non-detained docket, meaning they're roaming the country right now.
Oh my, what? Hold on, my bad. Man, are you kidding me? Look at these numbers out here. This is ridiculous right here. Convicted of SA, over 15,000. You know what I'm saying? Convicted of homicide, 13,000. And these are people that they're finding out that are at the border, that are, coming back in, that have already been convicted. Man, come on. 400 and something thousand. Man, oh my goodness, man.
On top of that, there are another 15,811 non-citizens convicted of sexual assault who are roaming the country right now on ICE's non-detained docket. It doesn't stop there. Those are convictions. The ICE director also says there are currently just under 1,900 non-citizens on the non-detained docket who have pending homicide charges, who are roaming the country, and another 4,250 non-citizens who have pending sexual assault charges, who are roaming the country on the non-detained docket. So people's eyes might be glazing over right now with all the numbers we just threw at you. Just to put it in a nutshell right here, what we've learned from the acting ICE director via this letter to Congressman Tony Gonzalez is right now, there are over 13,000 illegal aliens convicted of homicide who are roaming the United States right now. There are another 15,811 illegal aliens roaming the country right now who have been convicted of sexual assault. And
we can clearly see it. Think about what's going on. Think about the matter of fact, the little girl in Indiana. If y'all don't know anything about it, go back, on my page and stuff like that. I did my broadcast on that one. But yes, the little girl, 14-year-old girl in Indiana, one of those migrants left Denver where they was invading over there, went over to Indiana and, interrupted a baseball game in Indiana and started trying to cut a little girl up with a big blade. Like, man, this is serious out here. This is serious.
Even more who are facing charges for homicide and charges for sexual assault. So this just goes to show, guys, the non-detained docket has exploded under the Biden administration to over, I believe it's 7.3 million. They're anticipating it could hit 8 million by the end of the year. But looking at the numbers on this letter right here, there are currently over 600,000 non-citizens on ICE's non-detained docket who are either convicted, or 600,000 non-citizens on this non-detained docket who are roaming the country right now. Of that, 425,000 have already been convicted of crimes. 222,000 are pending crimes. And again, the most serious crimes we just told you about, over 13,000 convicted of homicide, over 15,000 convicted of sexual assault. And honestly, that is not a surprise to hear, given these horrible headlines we keep seeing popping up in multiple parts of the country almost every day now of a horrible sexual assault or a murder or another violent felony committed by an illegal alien who is often caught and released from custody. And the jaw dropper here too, guys, is all these numbers we just rattled off, they don't even account for the nearly 2 million gotaways who have crossed our border under the Biden administration. Those almost 2 million gotaways, they were never encountered by DHS. They snuck in, they were never caught by Border Patrol, they were never encountered by ICE. There's no record of them, so they have nothing to do with the numbers I just rattled off to you. These are just the numbers of people that ICE has already encountered, that Border Patrol has encountered, that DHS knows who they are. And we just saw those horrible stories in Nantucket the other day. ICE ran a week-long operation in Nantucket, and in a single operation in a 48-hour span, they arrested 2 Salvadoran illegal aliens who came into the country as gotaways and were arrested for child rape on Nantucket. They got a Brazilian guy who was arrested for sexually assaulting a Nantucket resident, and then a Guatemalan guy who was previously deported who was arrested for sexually assaulting a Nantucket resident. So we keep seeing all these headlines about migrant crime popping up in different cities all over the country.
Did you just pay with PayPal?
Yeah.
Damn. My bad, guys. Here we go.
And we have ever seen specific numbers as to who and what ICE is tracking when it comes to convicted criminals who have crossed the border at some point and are either supposed to be deported or are going through their immigration proceedings, but are not in ICE custody right now and are roaming the country. So I'll ping it back to you guys, but some pretty jaw-dropping numbers that we are still going through as we speak right now.
So, Bill, this letter that was sent from the acting director of ICE to Congressman Tony Gonzalez of Texas, it responds to an inquiry that Gonzalez sent him back in March. I just talked to Gonzalez a moment ago, and he's going to be joining us at the top of our next hour. He's surprised that he ever heard back at all. But what's interesting is in this letter, the acting director says, quote, ICE recognizes that some jurisdictions are concerned that cooperating with federal immigration officials will erode trust with immigrant communities and make it harder for law enforcement to serve those populations. However, sanctuary policies can end up shielding dangerous criminals who often victimize those same communities. I mean, that would appear to be, from the acting director of ICE, a tacit acknowledgement here that sanctuary policies are endangering the public.
I mean, basically because they are.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Basically because they are. Listen, look. It was the same situation back in the day when we had the Italian mafia in our country and stuff like that. And they felt like basically what he just said, that the criminals would endanger the citizens overall, basically, and terrorize the same citizens that of the community that they are a part of. That's basically what he just said. So at that point, but the whole trick about this one is that we're having now with them is that they're all illegal. You know, and they're not, you know, is that they're all crossing the border illegally, you know, the good and the bad, if you just want to keep it simple. And this is the trick of the game here, is that we are having our sympathy issues and stuff like that, because yes, some people are coming over because, yeah, maybe they want to live a better life. I get it. But at the same time, though, too, when you let things into your life, and when you let people into your life, or when you have elements of stuff that come into your life, It brings in good and bad. And this is just what's going to happen. Even though you may have some decent people that are coming in or coming across the border and stuff like that, they're also bringing the element of bad people with them as well.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
But our issue is, as American citizens, is what we cannot see and what some cannot see and what we won't actually stand on and realize and grow up to the facts about is that we don't need to let anybody in at this point unless they actually go through the proper system that we already had set up for immigrating people into our society. We already have a system in place that has been working for umpteens of decades now, the proper way, vetting people, checking backgrounds for whoever wants to come in and things like that, making sure that they learn the language here before they get here, properly teaching them the American school systems and stuff like that. I mean, which I'm not saying we got the best school system. It is what it is. I'm just saying here, pay attention. We have to actually integrate people into our way of living, or if not, we're just going to have a bulk of people that are coming from other places that's just going to overrun us, not even speak our language. We can't even communicate with these people and things like that. And it's going to be a whole turmoil situation like it is now. This is crazy. This is crazy. They're coming over here where we speak plain English, clear. They come over here, they need to speak English too. They don't need to be only, well, I know speak English. What the fuck you doing here? Why are you here? Then if you don't speak English, how about you try to take your time out and learn it? Because you're over here. I should not have to learn your language when you came here. I don't have to learn your language. You have to learn mine. And then on top of that too, I'm not no boo-boo the fool either. I know you speak some type of English, but you want to chop that shit up like, I don't speak English. Or you speak English clear enough to tell me that you don't speak fucking English though. Yeah, okay. You want to keep playing these games? Okay, then. We can keep playing these games, but you're not going to win over me on my own American soil, bat.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Like it or not.
100%. And I talk to a lot of ICE contacts pretty much every single day, and that is their biggest frustration is all over the country, there are these jurisdictions who simply will not cooperate with them, no matter how heinous the crime is. I mean, the Boston ICE office is arresting child rapists and these horrific sexual assaulters, and these local jurisdictions, ICE will put a detainer on them and basically say, hey, please hold them in custody. We'll send our guys and we'll pick them up. That way they don't get back into the community. The locals ignore ICE, ignore their detainers, and just release them back onto the streets, sometimes with a tiny bond, a few $1,000s for a child.
Hold on here. Hold up. What did he just say? We got to go back here. Oh, no, sir. What did he just say? Hold up.
Please hold them in custody. We'll send our...
Hold up. Let me go back just a tiny bit more here.
These horrific sexual assaulters, and these local jurisdictions, ICE will put a detainer on them and basically say, hey, please hold them in custody. We'll send our guys and we'll pick them up.
Okay.
That way they don't get back into the community. The locals ignore ICE, ignore their detainers, and just release them back onto the streets. Sometimes.
So you mean to tell me, hold on here. From basically what he's saying, you mean to tell me that ICE puts a detain on these individuals once they've been ran through the system and things like that, as far as what ICE's ICE system got, and they, of course, they're nationwide. So they are you kidding me here? Hold on here. And the local law enforcement system is releasing them and shipping them back out into the fucking community. What? So you mean to tell me that ICE is clearly telling these people to detain these people? We are going to send officers and we're going to send people to pick these individuals up that are on our radar for heinous crimes now, heinous crimes. And the locals are releasing them with small bonds or whatever, but are just releasing them. So is this the case here? Somebody let me know this. Get down in the comments and let me know. Is this the case? Are we turning our backs on ourselves as American citizens
You'll
now?
thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
Is that what's going on? Are we turning our backs on ourselves as American citizens? Because, you know, you're going to, as a law enforcement officer, you're going to release these people back into the public, and ISIS clearly has contacted you and told you to detain these people until they send somebody to pick them up. Is that what I'm hearing?
Times with a tiny bond, a few $1,000s for a child rape or an aggravated sexual assault. It makes ICE want to pull their hair out. And you did see that in the ICE director's letter. It is a head nod that, hey, we got to deal with a lot of sanctuary jurisdictions who will not cooperate with us for any reason. And when Kamala Harris visits the border today, if she takes any questions, I'm hoping she does. One of the things I'm hoping to ask her is, back in 2019, she campaigned for president as saying she wants to get rid of all ICE detainers, saying they tear families apart. You know, one of the biggest things we hear from ICE is there's this misconception about them that they're kicking in doors of grandmas and little kids and going after people who are just working and here for a better life. The people they're going after right now are the worst of the worst. We're talking serious felons, murderers, sexual assaulters, rapists, that sort of a thing. And when ICE detainers are not honored and these local jurisdictions just release people back out onto the streets without notifying the feds, it's dangerous for everybody involved. It's dangerous for the local community who might have a sex predator back on their streets. It's dangerous for ICE because instead of having someone just handed over to the jail to them in a secure environment, now ICE has to use their resources to develop intel and try to find this guy and find out where he's going to be, and then use 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of their officers to go apprehend this guy who could be violent. Maybe they'll fight back. Maybe they won't want to go back into federal custody. So it's dangerous for everybody involved. In these sanctuary jurisdictions, you know, it's going to come to a point here soon. Donald Trump is vowing to end them. I had a phone call with him the other day. I said, well, how are you going to end them? What are you going to do? And he said, well, if it comes down to it, I'm going to strip federal funding away from sanctuary cities. I said, well, how far are you willing to go with that? Will you pull FEMA disaster money from them? He said, yes, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. We don't know where Kamala Harris stands on sanctuary cities right now. I'd love to ask her that today if she takes any questions. We'll find out later. But her running mate, Tim Walz, has advocated for pushing to have Minnesota become a sanctuary state in the past. So these are questions that Kamala Harris is.
Okay. I've had enough. Particularly this one. Shout out to this gentleman right here for reporting. But obviously, this is the case right here. In your sanctuary cities out there, listen, look, people, if you are the sound of my voice or ever listen to this, you know, y'all in these sanctuary cities, y'all are being set up tremendously. So ISIS is clearly telling these people to detain people that we know are actually convicted or need to be charged with heinous crimes. And, you know, in these sanctuary cities, the law enforcement is just letting them go. Well, you know, screw ISIS, screw America. But they live here in America. These same officers, these same people that live in America are saying screw ISIS and what they're talking about. We're not going to detain these people and this and that. Oh, you're breaking up families and lies. Lies. You just heard him. He said they're going after the people doing the heinous crimes. This is crazy right here. This is ridiculous, man. Shout out to all the people in your sanctuary cities. But listen, look, I'm going to tell y'all something too. Sorry to tell y'all this, but y'all voted for this bullshit. Y'all voted for this bullshit, man. Y'all voted for this bullshit. Growing up, man, Jesus Christ, years ago when I first man, I never thought I'd be more glad to live in a fucking red state. Jesus, man. Wow. Woo. It's a whole nother day. It's an evil world we live in out here. All right. So listen, look, we're about to go here now. We're about to check this one out. So we're about to see when Kamala actually went on ahead and went to the border. And hold on. Let me get here. Okay. We're gonna go right here. So Kamala visited the border. Let's see, I got 2 days ago on my timestamp here. Listen, look, let's check this out, man, and see what actually went down.
Vice President
Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Harris stopping for a photo op with CBP officials while visiting an Arizona border town yesterday in an attempt to rebrand her record on illegal immigration. Meanwhile, the true impact of the crisis looms large as border agents warn that children as young as 8 are being drugged and trafficked into our country by smugglers posing as their parents. Allie Hopper is a public speaker on global human trafficking and homeland security at Sadolsky Enterprises, and she joins us now. Allie, let's just quick talk about the 2 cases that have been hitting the news. These young children, as young as 8 years old, they're in a car. They look like they're sleeping, but they were drugged, and the people that were with them were not their parents. What do we know?
So in many of those situations, these Border Patrol agents, and we have firsthand knowledge of speaking with these agents, they have not received the training to be able to even identify when these circumstances come about. They are told to receive and reset. They receive the child, push it forward, and then reset to receive the next, group of people coming over.
It's unbelievable. Our government, as we've been talking about earlier on this show, has lost 320,000 that we know of children. 320,000, mostly Latino kids from Latin America. They've lost them. They have no DNA testing. They go off to these homes. There's no checks. Correct? Am I right about that, Allie? We're not checking on whether they're going to school, whether they're fed, how these people, many of whom aren't their parents, are caring for them.
Exactly. And actually, my research partner, Dr. Jared Sadolsky, testified at Senator Grassley's roundtable. And, there's numerous situations of these children being handed over. One of his counterparts, or a friend that he knew, was charged or tasked to be checking on the well-being of 25 children, was only able to identify or locate 2. They said that the rest of them either never showed up or they were taken away by other people once they arrived.
What are the chances, or what sort of percentage can you even speculate about how many of them have fallen into sex trafficking, which we know is a growing problem in our country?
I wouldn't even begin to be able to guess that situation, because it's sex trafficking, it's labor trafficking. You're not checking the backgrounds of these sponsors. They could be, there was a case of an MS-13 member. There's cases of known pedophiles. When you're not doing background checks, you have no idea who you are handing these children over to. And we are putting them at significant risk to where the states can't even intervene and check on the well-being of these children.
Yeah, and many of these children, Allie, am I correct, are basically like indentured servants to the cartels because their families paid for them to come over with the cartels alone. God knows why. There's no excuse for that. There's no amount of poverty that would justify giving a 5-year-old over to a cartel member. But then they're indebted to pay off the cartels, correct?
Correct. And many of these children are being forced into labor situations or whatever means that they can to pay off their debts, whether it's labor, whether it's sex. And those are the primary 2 that children are being utilized for. But it's really unfortunate that they are coming here and we're putting them in these situations. And many of them are actually begging to go back to their home countries, and we're not sending them back.
Yeah.
Wow. How are
thank me in the morning.
My bad. Hold on. How are the children begging? The children are even begging to go back to their home countries. Man, come on now. Woo, can't make this shit up. What is going on out here?
No, we're pushing them through, as Javier Becerra said. We're not pushing them through fast enough. He actually referred to these children as if they were a Ford factory and they were widgets that weren't getting processed quick enough for the political aims of this government. We are complicit as a nation in this grave evil, and people like you, Ali, are bringing this forward for us to think about, especially ahead of this important election. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I would just like to end this piece with, I'm a mother. You know, I work full time. This is what I do because I care and because of the future of my children. But it's a call to action for any parent out there to know that this is happening to children across the country, across the world. So please pay attention to what is going on, because these children are being hurt.
Yeah, by a government who claims to care about Hispanics and Latin Americans. It's shameful. Ali, thank you so much.
Yo. So, okay. Yeah. The girl went down there. She visited the border, things like that. Of course, you know, come to find out of what we just found out. Yeah, they're doing a lot of dirty things across that border. They're doing a lot of dirty things across that border, bringing in children and things like that. Man, this is sad. This is sad of the situation that we're in, but we wouldn't have to deal with these problems if we were not allowing outsiders in the first place. Sorry, but it's just the truth. You know, I understand we tend to, you know, have these hearts and stuff like that in America, you know, which we do, but in my eyes right now, I'm sorry, but I have to tell the honest God's truth. We need to have more heart for ourselves to save our country and stop letting individuals in that ought not need to be here. You know, it's sad, but it just is what it is. Okay. So I got a couple of more things here. Hold on, people. We're about to dive off into some stuff here. Let me see where I want to go next. Where do I want to go next? Matter of fact, no, I don't want to go there. I want to go here. Okay. Let's go here now and let's check this out. So we got a family here that's from Venezuela that's been here for like 2 years in the Chicago area and things like that. And they were able to purchase a home within 2 years of being here and stuff like that. And listen, look, before you get down on me and stuff like that, this is the deal right here. Even here in America, we have actual 9-to-5 workers, even some of these factory workers, even some of those people that I showed you guys earlier in the broadcast that were on the the ship workers and stuff like that. Even they can barely afford homes out here. So listen, look, we're going to go here now. We're going to check this out. This is what's going on here. We're being replaced at a significant rate and things like that over here in America, in our own country, with our own tax fucking dollars. With our own tax dollars, we're being replaced. Let's check this out.
It was a homecoming they had only dreamed of until today. Today, the Gomez family officially welcomed friends to their new home in North Austin. Gabriel Gomez tells us it's his dream. This is what he wanted for his children. It is the first home for this family of 4, and it is the first time they have lived in anything bigger than 1 bedroom for 8 years.
Now, one thing I can say though, at least his wife is sticking by him. I mean, 8 years. Hey, I'm not finna lie. That's more than what an American woman would do. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. That's about the only thing I'm finna say that's probably gonna be pretty decent right now. Let's keep going.
Velez Rengel says they are very happy, and this is an important step for their family. Originally from Venezuela, they worked and worked in food service as an auto mechanic, delivering food, factory work. When they first arrived in Chicago in 2022 as new arrivals, they landed at Grace and Peace Church. This home is the first of 4 distressed West Side homes the church bought, rehabbed, and sold.
We met them at the bus and they were so distressed and worked through a whole process with them. And now they're stabilizing their own.
Okay, Pastor John, Grace and Peace Church in Chicago. Okay.
It's awesome.
With all of their savings, programs to assist first-time homebuyers, and an individual taxpayer identification number, the Gomez family made their dreams come true. Rengel says, really now is the American dream.
And before she goes on, listen, look, this is what I said earlier about people coming over here in our society. They don't even speak English. At least not English, no English good enough to even be interviewed properly. But I'm guessing that we as American, natural born American citizens are supposed to convert to learn Venezuelan to actually interact with them when they came over here. I mean, am I wrong? Is that what we're supposed to do as natural born American citizens? We're supposed to convert ourselves to learn everybody else's language that are coming over here and that our government are bringing over here. We're supposed to, learn what they want instead of them coming over here learning what we want. Is that how it's supposed to go? If I'm wrong, let me know. Am I wrong? I could be, maybe not. Am I supposed to convert to them or they're supposed to convert to us?
Grace and Peace Church plans to sell their other rehabbed homes to other first-time homebuyers.
And I guarantee you that church is getting government assistance to buy these homes and rehab these homes
of color on the West Side to hopefully improve the lives of their families and their communities. Watch breaking.
Sad part about this is in the Black community, the church has been cooked by the government to not help the Black community. But all these other communities, they're getting government funding to buy homes and rehab them so they can bring other people over here to be citizens in this country. Okay. Yeah, Black people, your church has been cooked. It's been cooked by the damn government. That's why your pastors is weak and all this type of stuff. And don't give me none of that crap out here. I am the son of a preacher. And I still got his minister's license. And he told me about how things were starting to go years ago, decades ago with the church and the government and shit. He told me that back then. That's why I don't fool with them fools.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I don't fuck with them. He told me years ago. He tried to speak the truth. They wanted him to turn in his minister's license. He wasn't going. Screw them. Yeah, like it or not, I said it. Yeah, I know what's going on out here. That's the reason why the Black church don't help the Black community no more. They getting paid not to do so. All right. We're going to keep this motherfucking broadcast rolling out here. Shout out to everybody. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. Get down in them comments. I see you out there. I see you out there, and mad love to you. Mad love to you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I see y'all out there, man. Get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thinking out here. You know what I'm saying? Scared and shit. All right. Let's keep it rolling here. Because I got a couple more things. Hold on. All right. We're going to hear what Trump had to say about Pennsylvania and the situation real quick. Let's go here now. Let's check this one out.
Another city with a growing Haitian population on edge after more inaccurate claims from former President Trump.
Charleroi has experienced a 2,000% increase in the population of Haitian migrants under Kamala Harris. The schools are scrambling to hire translators for the influx of students, and the town is virtually bankrupt.
Here in Charleroi, Pennsylvania, just like in Springfield, Ohio, local Republicans say Haitians have been an asset to the community.
The Haitian immigrants here have a very good reputation. Problem is that the federal government dumped these people in and aren't providing any resources.
In recent years, many came legally to Charleroi to work at the local meat processing facility, like Pierre Richard Montplaisir. Do you think that what former President Trump is saying is true, that Haitians are having a negative impact here?
No. When I came here like 4 years ago.
Okay, before he gets started, the thing of this is, even the gentleman said before, even though that, this is the illusion part. They're trying to put everything in this ball of clay where they're good for us, but same time too, the government is dumping them in without giving the resources for us to conduct them and bring them into our society. And that's the point. Which they're not supposed to be here in the first place like this, not coming in like this and things like that. They're supposed to come in a proper way at a certain segment of a time. It's supposed to be a certain small group amount of immigrants that we allow in each year, not just rush across the border or anything like that. It's supposed to be a certain segment, a certain amount that we allow in each year, that we educate them on our systems, our the way that we live life, our language and stuff like that. We're not supposed to just be allowing them in and dumping them in. But like old dude said, he was like, well, they're good for our community, but the government won't give us the resources to acclimate them into our community. It's like, listen, look, which one of you want to do? Which one of you want to do?
So the town was a ghost town. And now we got a group of people that are working and paying tax.
Montplaisir also works as
It was a ghost town. You came from Haiti. The whole country of Haiti is a ghost place.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Interpreter for the school system. 5 years ago, 12 students were learning English as non-native speakers. This year, that number is 225.
We believe now diversity is our superpower.
But Superintendent Ed Zelich says the state has provided additional funding.
We're not struggling. Are there more things we would like to have? Absolutely. But I think any school district wouldn't be able to say that.
Misty Cassidy disagrees.
There's just so many people, and there's just not enough resources. There's not enough jobs. There's not enough homes.
She's glad Trump, who she supports, has been calling attention to Charleroi and Springfield.
People need to know that it's just not Springfield. This is coming to a town near you.
What is coming to a town near you?
Haitians or immigrants that have poured over the border within the last couple of years.
Why is that a bad thing, given the fact that some would say the United States is a nation of immigrants?
They're not coming here to assimilate with us.
Now, to speak on that, that the United States is a nation of immigrants. Yes, it's a nation of immigrants and slaves. So let's not.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Let's not play these games. Let's not get this mystical power and deny what's going on here. Yes, it's a nation of immigrants and slaves. So, but the thing of this is that once slavery was over with and we get into the early 1900s and stuff like that, when we did have the Irish, the Italians, the Greeks, Jews, everybody was coming over, stuff like that. They actually went through Ellis Island, a little place called Ellis Island, people. Let's not forget about this. Ellis Island was the stopping ground for every immigrant that came over here in the early 20th century. And they had to go through that port. They had to actually, get documented. They had to actually get true paperwork. They had to actually get everything that they needed to get to come over to this country. They didn't just cross the Mexican border and things like that, and shit just turned out okay. It didn't work like that. So the nation of immigrants and things like that, you know, it is what it is here. By that time, we had systems and laws and orders in place that needed to be abided by. So, which we still do, but obviously our own government and other officials, especially in these sanctuary cities, are deciding to negate those laws and statutes and stuff like that. And we're just going to allow people in and give them subsidies and homes and shit like that. And it's just going to be fucking okay out here. All right, then, fine. All right, then, fine. This is where your taxes are going right here.
They're coming here to take over, it seems.
But Montplaisir says Trump's comments are harmful. How worried are you that what happened in Springfield with the threats and the harassment that Haitian immigrants, that they might happen here?
Yes, that's why that's why they are afraid about it. That's why some of them want to leave the town.
Yeah, Michelle Sendor, NBC News, Charleroi, Pennsylvania.
Thanks for watching.
Yes, that's what they're coming to do. They're coming to take over. Now, you can sit there and be, you know, doom and gloom. Well, I'm doom and gloom and this and that. No, I'm not doom and gloom. I'm telling you what the business is. It is what it is. It's no reason for you to sit around there and be boo-boo the fool with this information. This is what we're living in here. This is the day and time that we're living in, where we have these individuals that are out here taking over our country, and we have certain segments that are just allowing them to do so. It goes back to what was said earlier in my broadcast about the sanctuary cities, and they're just, the law enforcement are not even working together to detain actual criminals. We're not even talking about, let's take out the segment of the decent people that actually do want to come over here and be productive citizens. Okay, let's set them aside for a second. All right, I'm willing to do that because I understand. But I'm talking about the people that are coming over here, stabbing 14-year-old little girls at baseball games, stealing cop cars, using motor scooters to run across these major cities to snatch people's chains and rob ladies and things like that. And I'm talking about the ones that are over here that are in Chicago that actually low key, which I'm. It's kind of crazy to me. I hate to say it, but I don't. It's kind of getting the Chicago gangs to kind of come together and be like, listen, look, we're not going to allow some rival gang to come from fucking Venezuela and take our land over. What is going on here? Yes. So I mean, yes, they're not going to allow it. And I don't suggest that the gangs in Chicago allow that shit. Shout out to them. No. Jesus, man, it's wild out here. Then we have the law enforcement officers just, you know, catching and releasing when ISIS clearly told these people to detain these folks until they send somebody to get them. Yeah, okay. So who's on whose side around here? We're dealing with a situation here where we have snakes in our own grass that are homegrown. We have snakes in our grass that are homegrown in some of these sanctuary cities. You know, our own officers are turning their backs against us in these sanctuary cities. Listen, look here. All right, give me a hot second here. I'm gonna take a quick break, then we gonna get back to it. Let me check on some things. Shout out to y'all. Get down in the comments, hit that like, share, subscribe button for me.
Tell me, JR, which slut are you going to stay with tonight?
What difference does it make? Whoever it is, it's got to be more interesting than the slut I'm looking at right now.
see. That's save a horse, ride a cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you want?
We're gonna get your name and your Instagram. We're gonna get you on a cowboy as soon as possible. You know?
You're gonna get us on a cowboy?
Yeah.
This a date? Is it?
Yeah. And I'm the cowboy.
Are you a cowboy?
Of course. Howdy.
Okay. You are handsome.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Are very pretty yourselves too. You know what I'm saying? All the people that do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What name
sure.
would it be?
Sleep season.
Sleep season?
Sleep season, yeah, that's sleep season.
So y'all trying to rope us like them cows, some baby cows and calves.
Oh, you into that bondage, huh?
You kind of strong.
Yo, what's good?
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yes, shots will be fired in this broadcast. You know, it just is what it is out here, man. Listen, look, man, we got a huge problem over here. And the thing of this is that we're not wanting to acknowledge it on a consistent basis. You know, but mad love out there to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for watching. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're live with me or on the playback, definitely hit that like button for me. Comment, subscribe. Show me some love out there. I'll show you love back. Oh, yeah. So, all right. Let's see where we're going here now. Listen, look. You know what? I'm going to go to New York, and we're going to check on that. Then we're going to go to Texas, and then we're also going to see a couple of other things. You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm also going to have Anton in here. He's going to speak on something that's going to shock you guys about the new way that they're bringing in the immigrants and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay. Let's go here now. Let's check and see what's going on in New York. Things like that. I got Cash Jordan in the joint. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him too as well. Let's check it out.
A homeowner in the Bronx started renting a basement apartment to a woman who was from Ecuador. These migrants were gang members who had been arrested over and over and over.
So gangs are now taking over homes and apartments in New York City. In some cases, they disguise themselves as normal renters, but in other instances, they simply break in and destroy the place. And unfortunately, New York is not the only city in America where this is happening.
Meet the future of fast food.
Yeah, I'm going to get hit with commercials, just letting y'all know. All right.
Today shows that some are calling gang violence at an apartment complex in Aurora. We see men there entering an apartment building with several weapons, then busting down a door.
A sergeant and two cops pull up to this house.
And just to let y'all know, if you go on my, if you dive off in my page, I do have the suspects that actually broke into, hold on, let's go back. That actually were breaking into this apartment right here. I do have those suspects. I did a report on them on my page. Let's keep going.
Down a door.
A sergeant and two cops pull up to this house. They see a man pointing a gun down a driveway. They chase that man into a basement apartment, and they make the arrest. He's an asylum seeker. He's a migrant.
They used this woman to get them in there, and once one of them was in there, it became like a clubhouse for 8 or 9 of the most dangerous people the landlord had ever been introduced.
So what do we say, fellas? Women are always the gateway for any men to get in anywhere. And that's just as the facts. They use women for men to get in to come to the clubs, things like that. It just is what it is. Women are always going to be the face of the situation. They're going to be the face of the crime before it happens.
Too.
You can see the windows are shattered out. There are things on the roof damaged. Fire officials on the scene tell us the spark was an extension cord that was charging multiple e-bikes. Now, they say this is a property, again, that home right in the middle, that is a problem for the community. They say they have seen people coming and going, and they say it was only a matter of time before.
So they was in there charging e-bikes, which I know that the electrical system of a home cannot support the energy that it takes to charge a fucking e-bike. Come on.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And of course they don't care. That's not their property. They haven't invested in it. They're not a true American citizen. They don't pay property tax. They don't do nothing that we do over here that we're born into. And I'm sick of the games out here, for real talk. I'm sick of it. We're born into this. For all my American citizens, for all my American brothers and sisters and stuff out there, we're born into this. We have to pay these taxes. We have to have these social security numbers and this and that, woo, because we're born into this. You know what I'm saying? We have to play this game. But for these people to come over here that don't have to play this game and they're just running around here, destroying properties and stuff like this, I don't see how y'all people ain't pissed off out here.
For this property caused a problem.
And right now, even as we speak, a new migrant caravan is on its way to the U.S.-Mexico border. Those in the caravan say they want to cross into the U.S. before November's election.
They weren't afraid of being arrested. They weren't afraid of anything. They knew nobody was going to do anything, so they just came back and set up shop like everything was everything.
So 2 homes were just totally destroyed after a gang took one over and accidentally burned it down. But nobody's talking about how this problem of gangsters taking over apartments and using them as hideouts tends to happen more in sanctuary cities than anywhere else. And it's been happening here in New York for months, fueled by the proliferation of dangerous gang members through our shelter system.
Right. And it's going to continue to keep happening there if they keep with this sanctuary crap. If they don't change they tune. And to be honest with you, though, up there in New York, y'all mayor, he changed his tune. That's the reason why he under fire right now.
Thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
That's the reason why he under fire right now. Catching all these charges and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He questioned the shit. He's like, listen, look here. All right.
System who act as if they're entering an American sanctuary city as someone who's fleeing poverty or persecution when the only thing on their mind is persecuting the law-abiding. And the reason this is happening in New York and Chicago and Denver and other cities like this is because these gang members understand, according to critics, that they can get away with a lot more in parts of the country where laws are designed to protect them. For example, in New York, it's against the law for police to share the immigration status of someone they arrest with the federal government. And part of the reason gang members operate with such brazenness here is because
how you gonna create a law that protects illegal people that come over here illegally against the laws of the damn land? What is that? What is that? What are we doing? What are we doing? Thank God thank God. Oh my God. I'm so glad. Man, wow. I never thought I would see the day as a black man that I would be so glad that I'm in a part of the country. I hate this. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. But thank God I'm in a part of the country that is not gonna tolerate this. Seriously.
Even if the NYPD arrests them and federal immigration finds out, our police are not allowed to hold that individual until the government can come get them, which means immigration enforcement has to make their own arrest on their own time with zero help from our city. And that brings us to the real reason why we're now witnessing gang activity in this country that we've never seen before. These criminals, once they get here, not only are they protected, they can also take advantage of a very generous social safety net set up for those fleeing extreme poverty. And they take advantage of this generosity to connect not with a path leading to the American dream, which is what most asylum seekers do, but with the criminal underworld. Now, New York in particular finds itself between a rock and a hard place because while our mayor and police realize the dangers we're now facing because of this gang activity, they're fighting an uphill battle against a legal system that keeps criminals out on the street when they commit minor, non-violent offenses, like engaging in a calm, peaceful shoplifting spree that doesn't hurt anything except the bottom line of a big company, or shut down one of New York's many small, struggling businesses. But critics say we've got another problem because this city and its shelter system are now full of individuals who may not be who they.
Did y'all see that though? Let's go back here. Did y'all see that though? It ain't just men. It's men and women on this post. Stole $150. Let's see. Stole, well, 3 candy bars. Okay. Let's see. Stole $100. Stole $30. Stole $20. Stole $50. Listen, look, man, this is crazy. And, you know, I know you could sit there and say all day, what, you know, this is $100, $150, this and that, woo-to-woo. You know, well, this is petty. You know, it's not fucking petty. I guarantee you, they stole out of those bodegos or whatever by those business owners were not actual corporations that they stole from. They stole from actual normal business people that were trying to make a decent living in this country and stuff like that. These people are stealing from actual, you know, let's say you open up a gas station, or you open up a small grocery store, or you open up a small little store somewhere and things like that. People just coming in there stealing this and that, 50 here, 150 there, 20, 30, 40, 50. That shit adds up. That shit adds up. That's money. That's money that you got to replace in your business. We have to think business minded out here, people. This is money that adds up. It adds up. And I guarantee you, though, these aren't the only, these are the people that's on the post right now, but there are still other people doing the same damn thing, which are stealing, and that money adds up when you actually have a business.
System are now full of individuals who may not be who they say they are, and may be hiding from a past life as a criminal, or worse, trying to start a new life of crime here in America, which recently happened when gang members took over a building and started a fire that led to 3 law-abiding families losing their homes forever.
Check this out. State Farm was trying.
Told y'all it's gonna be commercials around the joint. It is what it is.
So, fires in New York City, that's nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, these guys put out about 24,000 of them every single year. But recently, the FDNY encountered a fire that was different from the norm, not because of what caused it, but because of who started it and how they did it.
You can take a look at those 2 split homes right behind me there. You can see the windows are shattered out. There are things on the roof damaged. That is where the fire originated, and it all has to do with what was on the backyard of that property that we're going to give our viewers.
So before we see the backyard of this place, it's important to understand who was inside this building illegally that started the fire to begin with. And the home in question is located in Marine Park, a very nice residential neighborhood, and it had been abandoned for a very long time, long enough that junkies were able to get inside and had been squatting there. But according to the New York Post, those junkies rented out the home or part of the home to asylum seekers who then moved in and were living there as well. Neighbors.
Damn, how do we have dope fiends renting out properties that they don't even own? What is this? Oh my goodness, man. Hey, listen, look, shit. Wow.
Interviewed said problems had been happening at the home for a while, and an unknown number of people were living inside of it. They claim there were fights started between people living at the property and neighbors nearby. And what you have here is a critical mass of people living inside one particular property, doing things inside of it that are not exactly legal or safe, which is why it burned down.
What was back there was a hoarding of trash that basically acted as an accelerant and kindling for the fire. Now, fire officials on the scene tell us the spark was an extension cord that was charging multiple e-bikes. Now, when that extension cord caught fire, so did the lithium-ion batteries. The flames.
So the backyard of this home, which was valued at $750,000, it was full of stolen e-bikes and trash. Now, from the street, you can see a lot of the debris that caught on.
$750,000 that this home was valued at, as we can clearly see right now. The trash here, $750,000. We already know that shit is high as hell in New York. $750,000. If you go, definitely if you go down south in this country, $750,000, you will have like a couple of acres of land, and you will be able to build you a mini mansion on that fucking land. Seriously, for $750,000. I'm telling you right now, I know this firsthand. Shit, 750,000, man, you will be ducked off somewhere. You will have you will have a gate before you get to the actual gate of the house with 750,000.
On fire in the back that had kind of been hauled out onto this little side area here. But there are some photos of the backyard online. Look at this. It was basically a big dump right there, ready to catch fire. What a disaster. But what's really sad about this story is that the people in this property that were living there, destroying it, their behavior destroyed both properties on either side of it as well. If you look at the front door of the house to the left, you'll see paperwork from the city that stops people from coming inside as the property was damaged pretty badly. The side of the house is burned and scorched. It's likely totaled, which is a shame. You can tell people were living inside of it because the exterior is well maintained. It looks like the porch has recently updated windows. It looks nice. There's landscaping work out front, but now the roof area has no windows and there's a burned up mattress on top of the building. And whoever was living there, spending money on that property, improving it, now does not have access to it and can't live there. All because our city has a system in place that allows gang members to take over properties and do whatever they want inside of them. But sadly, this story gets even worse.
This is a property, again, that home right in the middle where you can see the burns on the side, that is a problem for the community. And they say it was only a matter of time before this property caused a problem. That's what they say they were worried about, that they were reporting to every agency they could. And unfortunately, those calls, despite that, this incident still happening here today.
So the fire at this property was so intense, it not only took out the property that was on the left side, but the property on the right side that was attached via a wall, that one was also condemned as well. And there was a family living there that had 3 small kids. And now this family, who'd apparently purchased the home back in 2021, now they've got nowhere to go. And this has people asking, at what point does creating a city that is a sanctuary for criminals with laws that don't punish them something that starts impacting the law abiding? Now, since these neighbors shared an adjacent wall with this property that was turned into a house of horrors, when they were interviewed, they claimed that people were just coming and going from that place at all hours of the night. They suspect that many of the folks entering and leaving were people buying things that were illegal. Plus, they claim that there was always fighting going on here in the way of verbal arguments and shouting matches at all hours of the day. And apparently this year, 18 complaints were filed with 311 for public disturbances. But it gets even worse because before the fire started that took out these 3 properties, police had been called to this place 15 times over the course of 2 weeks. That's twice a day. And nothing was done to remove these bad actors from a property they did not own. Plus, it reveals that this entire area was being terrorized by whatever was happening inside, yet nothing was being done about it. There were no laws to get these people out, and the only way they ended up leaving was when the place caught fire because of the dangerous conditions inside of it. But sadly, the tragic tale that we have at this property isn't the only one that's taken place in New York recently. And many observers say that the rising gang violence that started here first should have been a warning to the rest of the country as to what was coming. 2 cities and towns that have laws that seem deliberately designed to protect bad actors and help them live lives of crime. Look at this. All over this city, we got people sneaking into buildings who shouldn't be inside. And security images like the ones on the side of that building, those are like the same types of images that we're now seeing out of Colorado, where a dangerous Venezuelan gang took over an entire apartment complex, which is also something that's been happening here in New York for months.
A homeowner in the Bronx started renting a basement apartment to a woman who was from Ecuador, but then within a matter of 2 weeks, the woman told the landlord, listen, I'm going back. I'm leaving. It became like a clubhouse for 8 or 9 of the most dangerous people the landlord had ever.
Okay, so hold on here. Let's go back. So she was renting out and then she wants to leave. Hold on.
Apartment complex, which is also something that's been happening here in New York for months.
A homeowner in the Bronx started renting a basement apartment.
Okay, so this gentleman right here started renting to this woman right here from Ecuador. Okay, where's her fucking picture at? We would like to see her too.
To a woman who was from Ecuador, but then within a matter of 2 weeks, the woman told the landlord, listen, I'm going back.
Okay, so now she wants to go back to Ecuador. Okay, at that point then, You know what I'm saying? The reason why she probably wants to go back to Ecuador, because she done already allowed the bats to take over.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
She done allowed the barbarians. She done allowed the barbarians in. So yeah, at this point right here, she was the gateway to let the barbarians in.
I'm leaving. It became like a clubhouse for 8 or
Right.
9 of the most dangerous people
Right, because she let the barbarians in.
the landlord had ever been introduced to.
So these guys were really sneaky, and as you're about to see, this was a violent gang intent on getting their hands on a property that they could use as a home base for illegal activity. And they aren't the only gang in town doing this, either taking over apartments by stealth or by force. Earlier this year, a moped gang was shut down after their apartment was raided, and they were committing snatch and grab robberies all over town, stealing phones and wallets. And apparently the apartment they were in wasn't just a hideout, it was illegally modified to house way more people than it was supposed to. And in New York, the way that these criminals get inside of apartments and take them over, it's not like the security footage here, which was probably a breaking and entering or some other crime. No, that's not how they've been doing it here. They do something much sneakier. They get somebody who's non-threatening, maybe a woman who then rents the apartment herself and invites everybody else over after.
Right. What did I say? What did I say? The women are the gateways for the barbarians to come in. Listen, look out here. Seriously. Listen, look. If you're ever familiar with the situation in the Bible about Samson and Delilah, the reason why they were able to get Samson subdued and, you know what I'm saying, take him down was because they sent a woman in. A woman is always the gateway to anything. Listen, look at the situation of Troy. Troy is an actual place in history. The situation of Troy, at the end of the day, Helen of Troy, you know what I'm saying, was actually not from Troy. She was a gateway into Troy because, the young prince of Troy, you know what I'm saying, subdued her or whatever, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, though, the lust factor came in. But Cheto, a woman is always a gateway into a lot of things in the gang society, period. Seriously. A woman can be sent in and it's going to be over with.
As roommates or family members, effectively sneaking them in. And when you learn about the people that this woman snuck into this home that was taken over, you'll realize why she couldn't tell the landlord who they were. Or at least who they really were.
These migrants were gang members who had been arrested over and over and over again. In fact, 4 of them were detained in Texas. They were set for deportation and they were re-released into America.
So these guys, they were essentially fugitives.
Okay, so these are the same gang members that we heard about in the earlier part of the broadcast that are part of that, you know what I'm saying, those thousands of illegals that came over here and it basically disappeared over here. That's part of the group right there. Here we go. It's all tying in. Real talk. It is what it is. It's all tying in. And we want to sit here and think that, you know what I'm saying, the Dem party, the demigod party, or the Dem party is just, you know what I'm saying, having our best interests at heart out here. When they're allowing these people, they've allowed these people in for the past 4 years. And this is why we at where we're at right now. Let's keep going. Quarters, nickels, and dimes.
Fugitives. They were in custody, but then I guess accidentally released because of overcrowding at a facility in Texas, and then they made their way to New York, a sanctuary city which, like many in America, won't turn anyone over to federal immigration authorities after making an arrest. That protection essentially allowed these criminals to live normal lives while committing crime, and apparently they were selling weapons and other contraband out of the apartment they had taken over, knowing that if the apartment they were living in was ever raided, they wouldn't face justice different from anybody who was officially here with permanent residence in the United States. But their lack of fear of local law enforcement went much further than that, because apparently they were using this apartment not only as a place to commit crime, but they had also stopped paying rent to their landlord, so they were living there for free, which is what caused him to get the authorities involved. They probably could have stayed had they paid their rent, and the landlord probably would have kept his mouth shut because he was getting paid, revealing just how easy it is for criminals to come here and set up shop. Yet,
And see, that's the problem about these starving ass fucking landlords out here, that, you know, they allowing these fucking criminals out here. Yeah. Starving.
just like our house fire in Brooklyn that evicted neighbors with families who'd done nothing wrong, these guys were so out of control that they were terrorizing the entire community in which they lived. And it took an event almost as tragic as a fire destroying people's homes and making them homeless to start the cycle that would eventually lead to these gangsters getting removed from the property they'd stolen.
Police were called because someone was out in the street threatening another person. Cops came. The individual ran back into the house and they followed him and they cleared out the house. They took 8 people out of that basement apartment, all of whom were arraigned, and pretty much all of them were released because of bail reform. None of them were.
So this house of horrors.
So all of them released because of bail reform. Jesus Christ.
Noticed by law enforcement when the crime going on inside of it spilled out into the street. And you'd think that this is the part of the story where this nightmare would officially be over. But if that were the case, living in a sanctuary city which has laws that protect criminals wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it takes both. Remember, these guys were wanted by federal immigration authorities. And although they were arrested for running around in the street with weapons, they were all released after that transpired. And federal authorities, they had to go back to this house on their own time to arrest these people and get them out of there a few days later. Had the criminals not gone back to the property, they'd probably still be out there. But the most
Man, stop it. All right. See, this is what I'm talking about right here. Why in these sanctuary cities? I don't understand how we're living in a country to where our cities' governments are going against our federal government on this type of situation right here. I don't understand it. I mean, I kind of do, because I know it's money involved, you know, and of course, you know, it is what it is when money's involved. It just is what it is when money's involved. Because this is clearly what this is. It's all about the dollars. It's all about the dollars. All right. So we're going to see what Texas is doing. And we're going to go here now. Let's check this out.
Governor Abbott is warning Texans of what he says is rising threats from a Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, or TDA.
And criminal activity linked to the gang has been documented in cities across Texas, and DPS is deploying new resources to document and deter its members. Ryan Chandler reports.
DPS cracking down on TDA.
We're not going to allow them to use Texas as a base of operations to terrorize our citizens.
Governor Abbott directing DPS to create a TDA strike team, designating the gang as a terrorist organization.
TDA gangsters are like cockroaches. They multiply quickly. Small intrusions into communities become infestations.
Damn, he called them cockroaches out here. Hey, shout out to that.
You own this food.
Wow, he called them cockroaches.
If not aggressively pursued.
U.S. Border Patrol reports they have apprehended nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants since 2020. But it's unclear exactly how prevalent crime is from the Venezuelan gang. DPS has documented TDA activity in North Texas, Houston, Eagle Pass, the Valley, and El Paso, where a state judge just shut down the Gateway Hotel for allegedly harboring criminal activity and TDA members.
TDA is operating at a different level. They're brazen. They're not afraid to tackle these different things. And I think it is a very credible threat that all communities have to take serious.
In July, the Biden administration first designated the gang as a transnational criminal organization, allowing the Treasury to freeze their finances. Some Democratic lawmakers critical of Monday's announcement, urging more cooperation with federal authorities.
If he really cared, he would be working with the federal government to ensure that we are maximizing our control of the border.
The U.S. State Department is offering awards up to $12 million.
Now, hold on.
You'll thank me in the morning.
Hold on. She's sitting there. If he really cared, he would be working with our. Now, we just heard at the same time, though, too, out here. Now, didn't we just hear this? Hold on. Didn't we just hear this information about the facts that these sanctuary cities and their law offices are not cooperating with the federal government to do any damn thing? Now, you know what I'm saying? Now that Governor Wheelchair, shout out to him, real talk, that the governments have been giving him a huge issue about, you know, he wanted to actually stop this situation earlier, but they sued him to not stop the situation, which is ridiculous. What is he going to work with the government for? They sued him and told him to let the fucking to let the bats in. Like, come on. Now she talking about, well, if he really wants what he wants, he will work with the federal government. Man, stop it. Come on now. Come on now.
For information leading to the arrest of TDA leaders.
They have a target on their back, and we're going after them. We have one goal, and that is to arrest them and make them understand that Texas is the wrong state for them to be trying to do business in.
Ryan Chandler, KXAN News.
And you heard Ryan mention the injunction that temporarily closed the Gateway Hotel in El Paso. The El Paso County Attorney's Office says they want to close down the hotel because it's a place where habitual criminal activity happens, but not because it has been taken over by a specific gang or criminal organization.
Okay, yeah, right. Whatever. You know, listen, look. Yeah, we know. Yes. We know the truth. It is what it is. It's been taken over, and that's just that. All right, so we're about to go here now. Let's check out and see what the public has to say. So, you know what I'm saying? It's major support, you know, mass deportation around here from a lot of the citizens. Is this what this news broadcast that I'm finna present to y'all finna say? Listen, look here. So obviously a lot of y'all out there are actually for deportation and making sure that we get these bats up out of here. And I'm for it too. So let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
With now less than 50 days to go until Election Day, Scripps News and Ipsos debut new polling about American attitudes toward immigration.
That poll surveyed over 1,000 Americans to get their stance on the border, including top priorities and support for mass deportations.
Political director Andrew Rafferty joins us now from Washington with more on this poll. Andrew, what'd you guys find?
Hey, well, good morning, guys. And we've seen how much of a factor immigration has played in this election up to this point. We expect that to be the case for the next 48 days or so, the less than 7 weeks to go between now and Election Day. And so what we try to do with our poll with Ipsos is really dig in beyond just who voters prefer on the issue of immigration and look at some of the issues that are being talked about, the policies that both of these candidates are putting forth. And we found some really interesting numbers, especially when it comes to this idea of mass deportations. This is something that has been central to Donald Trump's campaign. We saw it at the Republican convention, the people holding signs advocating for the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. And look at these numbers out just this morning. It shows a majority of Americans support mass deportations for undocumented immigrants. This poll was taken after that first debate. It was at the height of some of that controversy dealing around Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio. So it's a huge issue in the campaign right now. And these numbers reflect just how much of a priority it is. But one of the more interesting things is when you break it down by party. Yes, it is driven mostly by Republicans. Nearly 90% of Republicans say they support it. But look at independents, 58%, more than half of independents say they're also in support. And even Democrats, a quarter of Democrats supporting either somewhat supportive or...
Man, So you got 25% of the Democrats that are actually are for deporting these people, and independents 58%, Republicans 86%. Man, at the end of the day, I think of course, I think, and I could be wrong, but I do think that the majority of the American citizens, especially natural born American citizens, are not for this game. We're not for this game.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
We don't want to play this game. Because at the end of the day, though, I'm not gonna lie to you. The government, all this type of stuff, what's going on there, they're playing chess out here. I mean, they're playing checkers. They're not playing chess. And that's the problem. Real talk. Because if you look at the difference between the game of chess and checkers, you know what I'm saying? Checkers has a lot of illusions, has a lot of, you able to move the board whenever you move the board, and just do whatever you want to do with checkers and shit. With chess, you actually have to play that game strategically. You actually have to abide by the damn rules of the fucking game.
Strongly supportive of mass deportation. I think that's a number that jumped out at a lot of us, a lot higher than you would think, given the current rhetoric from both parties. But when it comes to big picture immigration, where things stand, deportations is one thing, but there's no doubt the top priority for voters right now is securing the border. 33%, a plurality, said strengthening the U.S.-Mexico border is the top immigration-related priority for them. You see.
Let's go here. See top immigration priorities. Securing the U.S. border, Mexico border. Yeah. Let's see. Pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, 20%. Let's see. Doing those in the U.S. illegally, 18%. And doing opportunities for illegals. Let's see. Entry, 18%. Yeah. All right.
Pathway to citizenship down there, and then deporting those in the country illegally and ensuring opportunities remain for legal entry, providing asylum way down there. Of course, we saw Joe Biden and the Biden administration change their asylum rules. We have some numbers coming up later today that shed some light on whether or not Americans support that. But we're going to bring you some of the more interesting findings throughout the rest of the morning and into the afternoon from this poll we did with our partners at Ipsos and our partners out in Phoenix, Arizona, Scripps Station out there, where, of course, they have a big Senate race.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying, we're about to keep this thing moving. And the thing of this is yeah, we saw the numbers right then. We saw the numbers and things like that. And I have something that I want to share with you guys that Brother Anton figured out. Brother Anton Daniels, shout out to him. And Brother Anton was doing his research, and this is what he found out. And this is going to be some shit that's going to shock you guys. And the reason why they're low-key they're probably going to try to shut down the border and stuff like that. But this is the reason why. Here, let's dive off into this. Shout out to Brother Anton. Here we go. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
And while the numbers of those arriving at our southern border has dropped dramatically, there are growing concerns about those coming as part of the Biden administration's parole program, bringing those from 4 countries here by plane.
What? Maybe I missed something. Did I mishear that? Because it looked like they was getting on a private plane to me.
Dropped dramatically. There are growing concerns about those coming as part of the Biden administration's parole program.
We work in real time over here. We work in real time.
Of migrants coming to the United States do so for the same reason as this Ecuadorian man.
Hold on.
Work in real time. Go back to that original video that I was talking about. Let's see if I can get it popping.
Oh, my bad. Damn it.
And security here. And while the numbers of those arriving at our southern border has dropped dramatically, there are growing concerns about those coming as part of the Biden administration's parole program, bringing those from 4 countries here by plane.
What? Maybe I missed something. Did I mishear that? Because it looked like they was getting on a private plane to me.
Dropped dramatically. There are growing concerns about those coming as part of the Biden administration's parole program, bringing those from 4 countries here by plane. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol data show more than 530,000 migrants have taken part.
So this is the point right here. Real talk. They no longer need to worry about the border. Yes, let's close the border because they're shipping them in by fucking planes.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
You can't make this shit up. Who responsible for all these holes in the street? You?
Yes, yes. Real talk. Who responsible? Oh my goodness. So they're shipping them in by plane now. That's the reason why everybody going to be start being cool with the borders being shut down and this and that. They're secretly shipping them in by plane. 100,000, over 100,000, 110,000 Cubans, 210,000 Haitians, 90,000 Nigerians, 117,000 Venezuelans. Total 530,000 immigrants in the joint. Jesus, man. Wow. August 2024. This was just in August, right here.
I don't understand. What is a CHNV parole program? Okay, give me a second. Let me do a little bit of research.
The CHNV parole program. All right, we about to dive off into it. I told y'all Anton then gather some information here. Let's keep going. We're going to check this out. The CHNV parole program. This is how they're bringing the illegals in. Flying them in now through this program. Let's keep going.
This is all new to me. I'm sorry. Give me a second. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Right.
Biden administration's parole program for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. What? Did y'all know about this? Am I the only person that was unfamiliar with what was going on?
I don't think, no, of course, none of us knew about this. None of us knew about this. And these are these are the laws and things like that. These are the programs that they create behind the scenes. And we don't know about them until, you know, a year or two or a couple of years or years after they've already been created and brought in the situation and done the damage. Seriously. You know, we don't know about all this crap till years later. And that's the problem. That's the damn problem. And it's sad. But as American citizens, we want to sit around here and we want to have to, we want to be able to trust our legislatures and our congressmen and our senators and our government officials and things like that, that they're doing the right thing by us. But obviously, as you can clearly see right here, they're not. Because at the end of the day, though, I guarantee you en masse, we did not know as American citizens about the CHNV program. Who knew? Who knew? Get down in the comments. Let me know if you knew. Let me know if you already knew about this program right here, because this is what's going on right now. They ain't got to worry about the border no more. Real talk. They're flying them in.
Okay, hold on. Let me play this, and then we're going to go from there.
That includes more than 117,000 from Venezuela, a country with which the United States has no diplomatic relationship, which means background information about them or their prior criminal history is hard to come by.
Right.
It makes it so easy for this TDA Venezuelan gang that's so treacherous to come to the United States and set up bases. There are bases in New York and other states across the country, and now including even in the state of Texas.
The New York Times reporting members of Tren de Aragua are living and recruiting new members inside the city's migrant shelters. In Chicago, local media is reporting on gang turf wars, a phenomenon predicted by a former border chief in Texas.
But what happens when you start going head to head to gangs like MS-13 that are just as powerful? And what you have a big mess. You have gangs fighting gangs.
When the black gangs get fed up with the illegalities and the criminal activity of these migrants or non-citizens, the city of Chicago is going to go up in smoke.
The city of Chicago has.
Now, we can say what we want about our black gangs in Chicago and all the other cities and stuff like that. And we get it as citizens and stuff like that. We want to try to stop all crime, even if it's our own culture or race, anything like that, regardless of what, culture and race that you're in this country. But what the gangs are basically breaking this down to is, if you're going to have outsiders that you're just going to pour in to these cities and stuff like that, our black gangs and even white gangs and stuff like that, they're not going to tolerate that bullshit. No. And so you have another situation here on hand, real talk, where you may actually have, these black gangs and these white gangs that are our American gangs, and I'm just going to say it that way because it's the truth, that are going to, of course, put their differences to the side to defeat the opposites, because they're coming in here and they're just straight taking over. We see what's happening in New York. We know what's going on in Aurora. We see what's going down in all these other places. They're burning places down, stuff like that. They're coming in, Tren de Aragua, the TDA, they're up in Chicago, take it over abandoned buildings, stuff like that, just like they're doing in New York. Man, come on. And you think that our homegrown gangs, because every country has its gangs, it just is what it is, but you think our homegrown gangs are going to stand for this? They're not.
Has spent more than $400 million on migrants over the last few years.
Nope, 700. I've done my research. It's 700 million plus.
Local residents there and elsewhere are starting to become more vocal at city council meetings, arguing that money would be better spent on low-income residents who are citizens of the United States.
So let me look this up. Let me show y'all what I pulled up. So this is some insight. So on January 5th, 2023.
All right.
So while Kamala Harris was sitting there pretending like Trump killed some kind of border security bill to prevent people from coming over here illegally, and this is why you got to do your research. The Biden administration, which includes Kamala Harris, listen, she's lying to you. And this is why you need people that actually can do some research. Because see, I hear something and I got to go and look it up. It's the same thing when I do Bible study. When I do Bible study, I got to go and I see a word and it don't make sense and I'm trying to understand how it's relevant to what we're talking about or what I've been reading. I got to pull out the concordance. I got to start doing some research. I got to look at the verses before it and after it and reference the stories before it so I can understand why that's relevant in this particular thing. It could take one word and I'm going down a rabbit hole. Biden administration announced its intent to provide safe and orderly pathways to the United States. So coming over here legally is not a safe and orderly pathway. Okay. For up to 30,000 nationals, which we already know that is in the millions now, 30,000 nationals of Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. The new program, which they haven't stopped, and they've been flying people over here, formerly known as Process for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. That's what the CHNV stands for. I didn't know that. Allows certain people from these 4 countries who have a sponsor in the U.S., bull, and who pass a background check, nonsense, to come to the U.S. for a period of 2 years, live and work lawfully using a legal mechanism known as humanitarian parole.
Humanitarian parole. And pass a background check? Okay. And pass a background check. If that was the case and these individuals were passing, real talk, background checks out here, then we wouldn't be having all these problems with these illegals burning buildings, doing crimes, all this type of stuff. We wouldn't have the issues in Chicago where the black Chicago gangs are coming together to try to defeat the Venezuelan gangs. Man, come on now. If they were just coming over here with good background checks.
So they did the same thing that rich people do with finances. They found a loophole.
Right.
So now they still doing the same thing, but instead of just letting them walk over through the borders, what they're doing is they're flying them over here and they using this loophole, and they saying that they've closed off the borders and migration into the country, which now we don't even know how many really is over here. So are they going to go back after 2 years? And why is it more than 500,000 estimated and not just in the 30,000? The creation of this new parole program, however, that's a key word, remember this, was coupled with restricted access to asylum at the U.S.-Mexico border for migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Starting in January 2023, the government of Mexico agreed to allow the U.S. to expel up to 30,000 migrants from countries to Mexico each month, preventing them from requesting asylum under the U.S. immigration law. With the expiration of Title 42 order in May 2023, the U.S. announced it would formally deport some migrants from these countries to Mexico instead of their home countries. What is humanitarian parole? The Immigration and Nationality Act, did y'all know about that? I didn't know about the INA, grants DHS the discretion.
I didn't either.
To temporarily, Department of Homeland Security is what DHS stands for, to temporarily allow certain non-U.S. citizens to enter or remain in the United States if they apply for admission, but lack any legal basis for admission. Individuals who enter the United States under these conditions are granted parole. Humanitarian roles does not provide any permanent pathway to remain in the United States and can be revoked or not renewed should the Department of Homeland Security decide that it no longer warranted, or if the beneficiary violates the conditions of the parole. A person of the United States on parole may apply for work authorization during their period or their authorized stay. Department of Homeland Security may grant parole to someone if there are urgent, humanitarian, or significant public benefit reasons for doing so. The INA does not define what constitutes an urgent humanitarian or significant public benefit reason, but U.S. CIS states that an urgent humanitarian reason might include protection against targeted or individualized harm. So what this is basically telling you is that they have this system set up for humanitarian parole, but there are no requirements or no baseline that they can qualify whether you should or you shouldn't be in the United States of America. It's all left up to the discretion of the Department of Homeland Security, which we know is corrupt. Mayorkas, anybody? So it's left up to their own reasoning. It's up to them. The INA, which is the Immigration and Nationality Act, does not define what constitutes an urgent humanitarian or significant public benefit reason. In creating the CHNB, humanitarian parole program. So when they start getting heat for too many migrants coming over into the millions, the Biden administration, and this is according to the American Immigration Council.org, the Biden administration invoked both grounds for parole, arguing that the programs provide a significant public benefit for the United States by reducing the unauthorized entries along our southwest border while addressing the humanitarian reasons causing people to flee those four countries. So
yeah, it is what it is out here. It is what it is. Yeah. The program got created to escape the fact that we're supposed to actually secure our borders by any legal standpoint of being a nation that's supposed to secure its borders. Period. Shit. Come on now. It's a legal way around it. This is crazy.
What this is saying, in short, for us C students over here, is that they created this program in the beginning of 2023, and no visibility, no publicity was given to it whatsoever. I just found this on a whim. All right. What this is basically telling you is that the Biden administration, to solve for all of the visibility that came from people coming in here illegally on our southern border, created the CHNV humanitarian parole program, which none of the voters know anything about. We don't get these discussed at any of the debates. None of the people that are interviewing these people ask these questions. Certainly ain't gonna get this question asked from anybody in the audience or Oprah Winfrey. They created this program to create relief at the border so that they don't get visibility of people coming in here illegally, but they still got people from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela coming over here. So now it all makes sense. When we ask questions and I say, man, how did they get over here? How did they end up in Springfield, Ohio? Why would they pick Springfield, Ohio? Why would they pick Aurora? Why would they pick some small dying mining town in Pennsylvania to ship a bunch of Haitians over to, a bunch of Venezuelans over there? How are they just ended up in different parts of the country? Because they want to 100% blame it on Governor Wheelchair down there in Texas. Governor Wheelchair is just sharing the love because they couldn't effectively stop him when they sued him from preventing people from coming over the Texas border. So now what they're doing is they flying them into these different places, and they're doing it under the cloak of the humanitarian parole program, so they can't then be prosecuted or be held accountable for it, but it was never promoted to the general public, and so y'all don't know what's really going on. And so when you see these people arrive in Springfield, Ohio, and you start to see them arrive in Aurora, and then you got Kamala Harris sitting there saying, well, it's all Donald Trump's fault because he didn't sign the bill at the end of 2023 when this was created in the beginning of 2023. January 5th, 2023, the Biden administration announced its intent to provide safe and orderly pathways to the United States of America. Then they talked about a bipartisan agreement at the end of 2023 when we already had over 15 million illegal migrants cross over into the border. And so now they want to set this on the lap of Donald Trump, but this is how you know Democrats are dirty. They dirty. When these people just arrive and she sit there and say, I can't believe that they're demonizing these people in Springfield, Ohio. They're not eating cats and geese. It's because they sent them there. And the reason that she won't talk about it and why none of these reporters have the competence, because maybe they just don't know. They wake up, drink their Cheerios, eat their Cheerios, drink the milk that's left over, go into work, and then go based off of the script that somebody asked. But nobody is willing to actually do the research to ask the pertinent questions, yet you see Black people continue to vote based off of identity politics out of ignorance because they don't even know what they're getting. They don't even know that they're being flew under this act right here that is basically left up to the federal government to determine whether or not your crisis or your humanitarian crisis, they determine what a crisis is for you. No vetting, no background checks, just jump on a plane, come over here, you go to Springfield, you go to Aurora, you go to Pennsylvania, you go to Detroit, you go to Chicago, you go to New York, and this is what we're going to do.
Yo.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And there we go. And there we go. And yes, I definitely agree with that. I don't think a lot of the of course, you know, a lot of the reporters and stuff like that, they don't know as well. You know what I'm saying? Just like we didn't know about that situation too. Just like we didn't know. Hold on here. Hold on. What was I just said? My bad. What was I just said? Okay. What was I just said? You know what I'm saying? Listen, look, like we don't know. We didn't know about this situation that just got passed right there. About the underhanded of the table. They're flying these illegals in. They created a loophole to where they could actually fly them in. So of course it's going to seem like in the next few days, out here, what y'all about to see in these with this election is the Democrats about to start talking about, yeah, well, we're down for closing the borders. Of course they're going to be down for closing the borders because they have the loophole now.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And they're flying motherfuckers in. They're flying them in. What are we doing? See, come on. They're flying them in. Hold on. I want to recap. I want to recap on the name of that situation. Hold on. Let me see something here. Let's see. The CHNV. Okay. The CHNV. Y'all get out there. Y'all look that shit up, man. You know what I'm saying? The CHNV. Look that thing up and see what's going on with that. All right. So we're about to go here now. And we're about to check this one out from Nick Johnson. He talked to a few immigrants, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And hold on. Let me see. Where is this at? All right. Let's go here now. Let's check this out. Quarters, niggas, and dimes, people.
But on couches, smoking cigarettes, watching NFL. They don't go to work. You don't need that work. You don't need that kind of job. You don't want to do it. I'll do it.
Yep. That's a Haitian migrant calling us out, saying it's our own fault he's in Pennsylvania. That was wow. I don't even know where to start with this report, but that seemed like a good way to get your attention. So in case you're not aware, migrants from the poorest countries in the world are entering our country with mysterious large sums of money, and they're overwhelming our small towns. And it's getting worse. And it's coming to your small town too, if you vote to keep the borders open. This is little Charleroi, Pennsylvania. So I came up here to follow up on a report that I did in Springfield, Ohio the week before. Now,
and see, we just talked about this. We just talked about this with what Anton talked about with the act that they got in place about flying people in, and then they got people going to these small places. Look at this small town. Look at this small town, Charleroi, Pennsylvania. Who ever heard of this shit?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I mean, each state has its small towns that do not get promoted, of course, because, you know what I'm saying, each state, mostly the capital of each state gets mostly promoted throughout, you know what I'm saying, the throughout society here in America, period. But yeah, though, look at this small town that's getting invaded. Come on now. Who is thinking, what immigrant from Haiti or China or Venezuela or you know, all those that list of those individuals that they're trying to fly in out here, or that they're flying in, sorry, it's just going to be like, well, I just want to go to Springfield. I just want to go to Aurora. I just want to go to this place here. Like, come on now. They don't even know the country. They barely even know the independent names of the states in this country. How the fuck they gonna know where to go?
After I talked to residents there about their Haitian invasion, a lot of people reached out to me from Pennsylvania. They said, Nick, it's happening over here too. So I thought, okay, let me pack my stuff and go up there and see what's going on. And what the damn hell, y'all? I think I stumbled into a future Netflix docu-series. But before I even get to the residents here are pissed off part, or the this is the future of our country part, I need to tell you about all the drama here. And it is deep and it is scary. I guess when you come to a small town to figure out what's going on, it's all about who you talk to. I think I talked to the right people. So Charleroi is a teeny little town in southwestern Pennsylvania. The place looks no different than it does in a lot of the Appalachia region. It's a crumbling town that's seen far better days. 40 years ago, the whole area here was still booming with steel and coal. But the last 20 years...
And those are the jobs that at the end of the day, though, they got deported out to other places around the world instead of keeping them home right here.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah. It is what it is. I don't give a damn what y'all think out there. Like, seriously. Not all of y'all, because I know some of y'all actually do agree with me low key, even though y'all not saying it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think America needs to be a little bit more. We need to get back selfish. We need to get back selfish. We need to bring jobs back over here to us, where we manufacturing a lot of things over here and shipping shit out to other people. Let's stop being the workhorses of the world, America. Let's stop being the workhorses of the world and spending our money to buy everybody else's homes and stuff like that across the world. No, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm down for America being selfish again. Where the self-love at? I'm down for America being selfish. Screw them people. Yeah, bring the manufacturing jobs back. Bring all let's build more cars over here. Let's grow more food over here. Let's do our oil over here. Let's get all this back over here. Real talk. Let's let the rest of the world pay for us so we can goddamn it live in luxury. Real talk.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Shit.
It's been especially rough here. Businesses have closed, people have moved away, and drugs have taken hold. There's 4,000 people left, and the place looks nothing like it did before. Back then, people told me it looked like the type of town you saw in A Christmas Story or It's a Wonderful Life. So in the place of coal and steel, some manufacturing and processing plants have moved in. But as these processing plants grew, they say it was harder to make a profit by paying Americans a fair wage. So migrants began coming in here to work for cheap. Same stuff I heard over in Springfield. Haitians are here to fill jobs. And then
Yeah, that's because we're not making these other countries pay for our goods and services. You know what I'm saying? That's where the tariffs come in. Yeah, we got to make these other countries pay for us to work. Pay for us to manufacture things for them.
brought their friends and family in, and before too long, they were everywhere. Now, this is where a little Charleroi is different than Springfield. I heard all sorts of juicy stuff that's pretty scary about how these Haitians wound up in this small town. I heard about corruption, fake documents, nonprofits, human trafficking, slave labor, backdoor deals, look the other way, and organized crime. And I was like, what? Look, I didn't sign up for all of that. I'm not that guy. I'm not a documentary filmmaker or an investigative reporter. Plus, I don't want a bullet in my head. So I'm not going down that road. I just came up here to talk about how a town's been changed by immigration and make another case that we need to close the border. That's all. But one thing everybody here agrees on is, one day, a few years ago, 3 big unmarked buses showed up in town, filled with Haitians, all dressed nicely with matching luggage and money to spend. And they immediately went to work at a factory in town. Of all the things I heard about, one thing I will talk about is greed. There's people in town here who are making a lot of money on the backs of these Haitians.
One day, people woke up and hundreds of Haitians just showed up. And then eventually it became thousands. And this is a town of about 4,200 people. Within a few months, over 2,000 Haitians came. And the question is, how'd they get here? Where'd they come from? We don't know the exact answer. The best we can get is that there are NGOs that go out and recruit these people, okay? The federal government pays for all of this. Shit, we're gonna get a train. The federal government pays for all of this, all right? And then they team them up.
Oh, we know where they come from. They come from off that plane that Anton just talked about with the program that they put in place. Is the reason why y'all about to start hearing the factors and Kamala went to the border, you know, just to give face and stuff like that, and start promoting the fact that they want to start closing the border down. Oh, y'all about to start hearing it. Just hold on out here. Hold on. Y'all about to start hearing it. She gonna add that into the campaign too. Well, we're okay with closing the borders now. We're okay with closing. Yeah, we know why y'all okay with closing the borders now. Oh yeah, we know why now. Oh yeah, we know why now. Y'all flying them in.
Them up with employers who then dump them into towns all throughout Pennsylvania. So your tax dollars paid for the 2,000 plus Haitians just to show up.
Okay, so now that you know the backstory and understand how deep this goes, I can talk about the real reason I came up here. How little old Charleroi has been affected by this migrant invasion. There's traffic accidents here. The schools and hospitals are overwhelmed. People are mad. They're worried. They're frustrated. A town of 4,000 people now has an estimated 2,500 Haitians in town, and more are coming all the time. They're even talking about making the road signs in French. But I couldn't find as many people here to speak out.
Why are we trying to, and this is what pisses me off. As Americans, we are established. Why are we trying to, arrange ourselves to complement these people's language? When at the end of the day, though, they need to learn our language. America needs to get selfish again.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Where the selfishness at, America?
You can't make this shit up.
No. If you're coming over here, and I'm a descendant of slaves. I'm a born American. It is what it is. Grandfather fought World War II. That's the reason why y'all always see I keep that pyramid flag folded up right there on my channel. Y'all see it. They ain't playing these games. I shouldn't have to learn another language in my own homeland. They should compliment me, not me complimenting them. That's how kings roll.
You'll thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
That's how it goes. They coming over here. We're not going there. I don't have to learn fucking French.
Out against the Haitians like I did over in Springfield. People here are afraid. Yeah, they told me that. I had an interview set to talk to some councilmen in town, and they all canceled at the last minute.
Right.
One resident here told me she feared for her life, and she didn't want to talk to me. Then I was getting all these weird messages in town from people here. Stuff like, go home. This is too deep. You're at risk. One guy said, pay him $5,000 for 2 hours of his time, and he'd tell me everything. What? What is happening here in this place? This little town? Are you kidding me? But I found some people to talk to. So we're sitting here with Kevin. Kevin?
Shit, they sound like they out there starving. Talking about paying $5,000. At the end of the day, though, listen, look, whoever that dude was that asked him to pay him $5 grand. Yeah, you about to get your house replaced out there. Yeah, you about to be homeless. That's probably the reason why he asked for the $5 grand. Because he was about to be homeless. He, she, whoever the fuck it was.
How do you feel about what's been going on in Charleroi with all the immigrants in town?
It's a shame, man. They live better than we do. You know what I mean? They drive around in brand new pearl white BMWs. I mean, go up to any grocery store, you'll see them. They're just piled up with 3, 4 buggies at a time. Who can afford to do that? I can't. I make a good living. You know what I mean? I can't afford to do that.
So where are they getting their money from?
From the government. It's all coming from the government. They get food stamps, they get cash assistance, all that.
How has your town changed by having this many people here from another country?
It's not the same town. I mean, you can walk downtown and there's millions. Not millions. There's a lot of them. You know what I mean? You can't go a block without seeing probably 100 of them. I mean, just hanging out. They're walking in groups, all on a cell phone. I think I was talking to a councilman the other day. He said there's 83 pregnant women in this town. They're expecting babies.
People are upset.
So 83 pregnant women in that town. For that particular town, I guarantee you that's a lot of women that's pregnant right now. Come on now. You got to think about the numbers. I think he said it was like only like 4,000 people in that town, period. That's you're going to consider old people. You're going to consider young people as far as, like children. Okay. Then you're going to consider the middle-aged people that are able to have children and also are aging out of having children. So you're talking about 80-something people, 80-something women that are pregnant at this particular moment. Yeah, that's a lot for that little small town.
People are upset. I'm upset. We don't have anywhere else to go. This is our home. We didn't ask for this or consent to this.
Bullshit. Hey, listen, look, I don't know whether or not Pennsylvania is a sanctuary state right now. Okay, hold on. But my thing is that for the states and the cities, well, the cities that are sanctuary states, I think that they open the door for everything else to be allowed in. These sanctuary places have opened up Pandora's box for the rest of the country. And that's going to be the huge problem. It's too many sanctuary places and things like that.
There's nothing we can really do. You're not allowed to complain. If you complain too much, you run the risk of getting sued.
Sued? How you complaining? You get sued in your own country? What?
They've caused problems in our home. There's a strain on traffic. They're wrecking their vehicles. They don't have insurance. They're getting free vehicles somehow from somewhere. That's not explained to any of us.
I have lived here since the mid-'80s. And of course, there's been a progressive deterioration of the town. I mean, it used to be where you could go downtown for anything you needed. There was movies you could see. There was restaurants that you could go to, any choices. There were shops, lots of shops, shoe stores, and things of that sort. And I mean, it was nothing for our kids to run around, and we let them go, like if there was a group, and they could walk around, go down to the park and all those kinds of things. And that has drastically changed.
How has the immigration surge changed your town?
I think that every person that had the smallest amount of racism in them is booming out now. I mean, booming out.
How do you feel about the way things are going in town here, Keith?
Well, I have mixed feelings. I'm angry and I'm concerned. There's a lot of problems going on, and some are made up, and a lot of them nobody's even talking about. I'd like to see What is our government using our tax dollars for? To aid the illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them. Maybe some of them have been here long enough that they have citizen status. But, you know, it's like everything's in the dark. You know, everything should be full disclosure. You know, we've been putting up.
Hey, it should be, but it's not. Should be, but it's not. Hey, this gentleman just said it. It is what it is. I like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm gonna skip ahead just a little bit because I want to get to a point real quick. All right, we're about to go here. We're about to check out and see what this lady had to say here too. Let's go here now.
Are a lot of the immigrants going to vote?
That I don't think so, because they do have a work permit only or something like that. And of course you can vote with work permit. You vote with citizenship.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, are you going to vote?
Yes, and I have been voting for quite a while. Yeah.
Who are you voting for this year?
I am a Republican, and I will forever be Republican.
What is it about Republican that you like to vote for?
We are strong people. We always go for what we want. Yes. I know what's going on. I don't like how Republican is talking. I don't need to call name, but our leader needs to just adjust himself a little bit, because immigrant, he's still in his house. His wife is immigrant. He's our leader as a Republican.
Oh my, hold on. What? I knew somebody was gonna say something. I knew somebody was gonna say something eventually about Melania Trump. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But I'm just saying, no. You know, the thing of this is that we're talking about the illegals at this point. And you know what I'm saying? Now, this woman right here is saying that she's Republican. Of course, like, you know, she, due to the accent, we already know that, you know, she didn't grow up here in America. So she's from another country, but she's saying that she's Republican. And she believes in the Republican values and things like that, as far as this and that. Okay. But yeah, don't shoot shots and things like that, because at the end of the day, either you believe in the values or you don't. Now, I guarantee you, you know, we're only talking about the illegals. And I'm gonna state these facts here. That's what we're only talking about. The illegals, the people from other places in other countries and things like that, that want to come over here legally, that want to actually be productive citizens and things like that. They're the utmost welcome. Please come. Please come. Yes. If you come over here legally, you learn the language, you try to understand how we work over here in America, which we're not perfect. We're not perfect in America. I'm not saying that we are, because we're not. No country's perfect. No humans are perfect. It's not going to ever be perfect. But please come over here with the best intentions, you know what I'm saying, that you could possibly have for America and things like that. And try, just like, you know what I'm saying, the majority of Americans really try to be decent citizens. Yeah, we do have an underclass, just like any other culture, any other country, period. But yellow, nah. All right.
And we look up to him, and he's not speaking nice of immigrant.
But you're still going to vote for him.
I am Republican.
Good.
He's not speaking nice of illegals. And it's that emotional shit that, you know what I'm saying, real talk, women got to get, as a woman, you got to escape. See, this is the point right here, real talk. It don't matter what region a woman come from, what part of the world she come from, she still got women's emotions. And that's what she's going off of right now. Well, he's talking bad about immigrants and stuff like, because she is an immigrant in this country. But see, what she's not trying to separate, which men, we do separate things. You know what I'm saying? You know, we put things in boxes. This shit is true. We separate shit. We put this in a box. We put that in a box. It is what it is. That's what helps society keep going, because we map things out. You know what I'm saying? Listen, look. No. She got to understand what the people that we're talking about here are the illegals that are coming over here, that are being shipped in by planes now that we figured this shit out. By planes. Come on, people.
We don't go back and forth. Sorry.
How a lot of the other immigrants, who are they going to vote for, do you think?
Well, here it used to be Republicans, for I know. So we all cheer. But as times go by, now they all start backsliding. But I wouldn't backslide. I wouldn't shake. I wouldn't move. So now they're looking at what Democrats is talking about, offering them. So they want to go that side. But
So they're looking at what the Democrats are going to offer them, and they
yes.
want to vote for them.
Yes.
Meaning money and.
No, not money, but
Bullshit. Talking about money. Everything is about the dollar. Don't play yourself out there. Don't play yourself. Everything is about the damn dollar on this planet, period. Whether it be living conditions, dating, marriage, all this type of stuff, where we live, eating food, cars, clothes, everything is about the damn dollar. Life on this planet is about the damn dollar. It's always about the dollars. So let's not be, you know what I'm saying, delusional out here. And like she said, even some of them are starting to, yeah, they gonna get with the Dems and stuff like that, because yeah, it's the dollars. It's the dollars. It's always about the dollars.
more of what the promises the politician normally gives.
Uh-huh. What promises are those?
Should I go into it? Of course, you and I know. Oh, I will do this for you. Medical is this, schools and this and that. I'll make sure the taxes is this, And Democrat like to brainwash with the immigrant situation. So
Yes, it's a whole brainwash. Real talk. Hold on. And my strike on this situation is that a lot of them immigrants that want to sit there and believe the Democrats, they gonna treat you just the same way that they did black folks for the past 60 years. They gonna do you the same way.
What the French toast is there to think about?
They gonna do you the same way. Don't play yourself out there. But it is what it is, though. And I guarantee you, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Hold on. I'm gonna move forward a little bit because I want to get to this point here. And we're gonna see what this young man had to say right here. And yeah, I'm dead serious. They're gonna do these immigrants or migrants or whatever the same way. They're gonna treat them the same way that they did the black folks in this country for the past 60 years that's been voting for Democrat the past 60 years. They're going to eventually do them the same way. And of course, they coming over here, they're starving. They're not going to actually, you know what I'm saying, understand these factors because they haven't been truly integrated into society yet to really understand the history of this country and how the dynamics of our politics and all this shit works. But yeah, though, they're eventually going to treat them immigrants that they're bringing over here by the planes and stuff like that. You know, they're going to treat them the same way eventually. It's all about the dollars.
But then this guy, though. So this is Rami. We connected on social media because he said he had gotten a bunch of death threats from the locals here. Well, I asked Rami about how he got here, and he told me pretty much everything. And to be honest, he's a really nice guy. I don't think he knows anything about the bad stuff happening all around him. Rami came here legally. He paid for his own flight from DC, and he applied for what they call humanitarian parole, which means he can leave a country in distress and he can come here and work legally and temporarily. Look, he showed me all his documents. He's on the up and up. He took a bus to Charleroi to live with his cousin, who's been here for years. They need a sponsor to take him in when they arrive. So
he already had a cousin here that lived here for years, up in that small place. So, okay.
Why not your Haitian cousin, right? He says he's not doing anything wrong, and I believe him.
I like to speak for myself. Like, as I told you the other day, I got my paperwork. I got everything. They be saying that we're illegal or something. I got everything. So I don't know. Maybe some of us, some immigrants are illegal or something, but I don't know. But me, I am legal. But they be calling us alien. It's like sounds like we come from another planet or something like that. I don't know. Illegal aliens. The former President Trump said it. The vice president said it too. But I don't know, man. If they want proof, I can't prove that I'm legal or something because I got all my papers and shit.
How have you been treated here?
It depends. I stay on my lane. I'm on my business. I just wake up, go to work, get back home, and that's it.
So you're just trying to come, make a good living, and then save up money and go home?
Yeah, because I'm only here for 2 years. It's a 2-year program.
A lot of people.
So do you really think he's going to go back home when at the end of the day, let's keep this, let's remember now, he had to have a sponsor, which was his own family member that was already here for a substantial amount of time.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Do you really think he's going to go back home? And it's not no shade on this young man right here. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Nick showed the paperwork and stuff like that he had in place and things like that. He came over here on the program, and I'm not knocking any of the immigrants that are coming over here that have their paperwork in order, because that's what the government is providing them. That's what our government is providing them. We're doing this. We're doing this as citizens. We're allowing this. And this goes back to the title of what I titled, you know what I'm saying, my broadcast about. We are allowing these things. We are promoting this. We are, as American citizens, allowing our tax dollars to go to these type of programs, to go to these types of things, even if some of these programs we do not know about. Some of these things, yes, we do not know about a lot of things. And this is what I talk about the situations about life and things like that in living here in America. You know, when our legislatures and our congressmen and all these people, they go to work every day, they don't just go to work every day and drink coffee and sit around and talk shit to each other. You know, they create laws. They create laws and statutes and come up with different ways to do things every day under the table that at the end, they're not letting the American citizens know about. You know, this is in programs and stuff like that. This is a program that they created. And it goes back to what I showed you, what Anton found out about the situation, about their flying the illegals in and actually giving them good paperwork, status credentials. Like this gentleman just said, he's over here for 2 years. That's part of the paperwork that I showed y'all, what Anton talked about flying these illegals in. Real talk. And that's where it comes to. He does have proper paperwork that cannot be denied. But this is the thing here. It's supposed to be for only 2 years, but his sponsor which is also his family member, has already been over here for, God knows how many years or whatever. And he had to already have a sponsor for the program. So come on, man. Come on.
People, you said a lot on that Facebook post about how unfair it was about all the stuff that's going on. Can you explain to me that?
This some stuff that's going on online. Like if I be walking in the street, I don't feel threatened or something like that. But on the internet, they be saying all kind of stuff, all kind of stupid stuff. So, cause I watched a lot of videos about the situation right after the presidential debate, when President Trump came up with the dog, cat eating stuff. It's just not fair to me because that's a lot. It's just a lot. And they be saying we buying cars, we getting like excessive amount of money on food stamps, EBT and stuff. Just a lot.
That's not a lie. Of course y'all are. And at the okay. Okay, let's keep going.
We don't get that much.
Okay.
Of course, we get government assistance like food stamp. I did. $291 a month. And
yeah, you get $291 a month, okay? Okay. You got women that are naturally born American citizens that's not even getting that much. Or definitely, let's not even talk about men in this country. Talking about signing up for government assistance. Let a natural born American man sign up for government assistance. He ain't finna get shit out here. And we know these are facts. These are facts. So you talking about $200 and something for the government assistance for you to get you some food. You talking like that's peanuts, son. You got American citizens that America would not allow a man, period, in this country. I don't give a fuck, black, white, whatever. The government in our country would not even allow a man to get $250 for government assistance in this country.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Even when he down bad. And you talk about $250 like it ain't shit. Look at, okay. All right, bro. Okay, then. Oh, you done came over here. You get $250 for you to be able to buy food. Okay. But shit, though, natural born American citizens, especially the men. I'm talking about the men because we man to man right now. You know what I'm saying? The men can't sign up to no government assistance in this country and get $250 worth of shit. Come on, man.
$195 cash. And I watched the video. I think you did this interview with that girl. She was talking about we getting like 29,000 on EBT cash. And I'd be laughing at that. If I had $29,000 right now, I would go back to my country.
Okay. Before he keep diving deep, the thing of this is, it is certain places that are giving certain, immigrants. Everything is going by the region of the place that you're in. And the reason why, real talk, hold on. The reason why they're also strategically placing some of these people in these little small towns is because they could pay them less. We got to think about the finances of this shit. Like I break it down to you, it's all about the dollars. It's all about the dollars. Don't fool yourself out here. the government's still gonna try to save money wherever they can save money. So yeah, they'll ship these motherfuckers to these little small towns and stuff like that, and they don't have to pay them this 20 grand. But if you living in New York, LA, Chicago, all the type of stuff, things like that, yeah, they may get 20 grand because 20 grand works different in Chicago or New York or something like that than it do in small town Pennsylvania out here. So they're not going to give the migrants that they send to these little small towns 20 damn grand. They adjusting the shit. We got to think about the shit behind the scenes. Use your brain out here. Real talk. They're going to adjust the factors of how much money that they're going to give people depending on where they place these immigrants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They be saying we're buying like expensive cars, like brand new cars. This is my car right here.
The white one?
No.
The Altima?
The Altima.
Okay.
It's a
Okay. So that's his car, the Altima. That's his car, the Altima. He over here on the program that we're talking about. He got an Altima. It looks pretty decent. Okay, let's keep going. Let's check out more.
The 20.
But are there people here that are getting a lot of money, Haitian people? Because a lot of people say they see them driving around in nice cars, nice clothes. Is that over?
Everybody can't get a car here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's credit. Even with a bad or no credit, you can still buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just gonna get high interest. I got high interest on that, and it's overpriced.
Yeah.
Considering the high mileage on it, the year, it's overpriced. So what they talking about?
Mm-hmm. You went to New York. You didn't come across the border like a lot of people.
Hold up, son. Hold up. Oh, he over here. Well, it's overpriced. We get high interest and this and that. Yeah, we did. Hell, we got American citizens out here that still get high interest. You know. So what are you talking about? Oh, it's overpriced. That's nothing. Like, you know, this this bat coming from fucking Haiti or wherever he came from, trying to sit around here and act like, well, that call overpriced. It's overpriced, you know. Yeah, you know, he trying to make it low key. He trying to make it seem like that's just a trash. Dude, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You think you're supposed to come over here and get, you know, low miles at a decent rate, a decent interest rate?
People in town did, right? A lot of people here came across the Mexico border, and they ended up on buses here. That's what people in town say.
I don't know. I don't know too much about that.
You don't know how a lot of people got here?
I know about the border.
Yeah, we know you know, because you came there somehow. Because at the end of the day, though, I guarantee you that small town that he's in does not have a fucking airport, so he had to get there by bus. So you want to try to play me? Oh no, hold on. You want to try to sit here and play me, son? Like we don't know how you got there. Oh, now that we know how you got over to the country by flight, 9 times out of 10, and then you want to sit here and play me like you don't know how these people are, these illegals are moving around, you know, and getting to these small towns now, these small towns that don't have airports, like major airports. So you want to sit here and try to fucking play me? As a natural born American citizen, you want to try to fucking mentally play me out here. Okay then, son. Okay then, son. Let's keep playing this game. And you're going to find out something that you don't want to find out. Real talk, 10 toes down.
Border crisis and something like that. But I jumped on a plane from Haiti. Landed in New
Right.
York.
Paid for your own ticket.
Right. Right. We know you jumped on a plane. Man, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Landed, got sponsored by your cousin, ended up here, and you're working, paying taxes.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're doing things correctly. From my point of view, you're doing things.
I think all of us do.
Okay. Because there's a lot of people that say that there's a lot that come over the border, that don't check in, that don't pay taxes. But it seems like you are doing that. I guess that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that's true. I just can't believe the people, they underestimate their government like that.
Okay. But you're here and you got flown in by the program that we just talked about with Anton just presented to us that the mass amount of Americans did not know about. So, yeah. Oh, okay. I don't see how you just underestimate your government like that. Yeah. Okay.
It's not like they just open the border. And
Oh, it's open.
just flew in.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Actually,
It's
there's
open.
a lot of people coming here.
Right. Yeah, it's open.
Yeah, but I don't think they're here legally.
How? He just said he don't think that they're here illegally when the borders are open and it's nothing but illegal people coming across the border. What the fuck? See, this is the damn delusion. This is the delusion. He just as delusional as American women. This shit is crazy out here. You're a grown ass, you're a man. You know what I'm saying? We see through your games, bro. Other men see through your games. I don't think they're coming over here illegally. Across the border that's supposed to be closed? I don't think they're coming here illegally. The fuck you talking about, kid?
Okay.
Well, I don't think so.
Okay. No, we do have a huge crisis at our border, but you didn't come that way. I guess that's what I was asking. Okay. Okay. How many people in town do you think came in the right way out of the Haitian people?
A lot of us.
Okay.
A lot of us. Because a lot of Haitians, they had to walk like 13 or 14 countries from the South America to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard of.
Oh, so they had to come from South America to come in. Hold on. But at the same time, though, too, you just said now that they're not coming in illegally. But you got flown in over on a plane with the program that we just saw Anton present. Okay. I guess. Okay. Now you don't now you want to try to play people like, you know what I'm saying? We don't see through your bullshit, son. Cut the crap.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Cut the crap, man. We see through your malarkey. We see through your crap. You're not going to piss on me and tell me it's raining outside when I can smell the ammonia.
Oh, that.
So a lot of these Haitians that are here are going to go back when it's time to go back, just like you.
Know. I can speak for myself.
No.
Yeah.
I know I'm going back home.
Lies.
But I don't know about them. I don't know what they think.
So your whole goal was just to come, make money, get out of Haiti for a while, save up, and go back home and start a business.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're going to start a business in Haiti when we know Haiti is a country full of serious turmoil? Haiti way more ratchet than America. Okay.
And you don't know a lot of these other people. You have no idea what their plan is.
No idea.
Okay. All right.
Lies.
Do you feel that this town will ever accept all of the Haitians that have come here?
I don't know. But most of my neighbors, for example, in this neighborhood, they friendly.
They're friendly.
Yeah. They wave back when you wave at them. They say hello.
So they're friendly to your face, but on social media, they're not friendly.
Yeah.
I agree. I've had a hard time getting people to talk to me that have said mean things on the internet. They won't talk to me in person. I agree.
They say what?
They're saying that a lot of the Haitians are showing up at the border, being given fake documents and bussed up into small towns to be used as slave labor.
Who gave them these documents?
Some nonprofits are giving them documents and just putting them on a bus and dropping them off in small towns so that companies can use them as slave labor. That's what I'm hearing is happening.
As a slave labor, do they pay taxes?
I don't know if they're paying. I think they're being paid under the table. I don't even know if they're even paying taxes.
I don't know, man. I don't think that's true, man.
You never heard of any of that around here?
No.
Do you talk to a lot of people that are here?
Days like, I don't know, like 2014 or 16. I heard about like people working under the table, they getting paid cash and then like on the envelope and something like that. I don't think they're doing that shit no more.
So you haven't heard of any of that going on here? Do you talk to a lot of people that are here? Okay.
Yeah, of course you haven't heard of it. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. Ain't no reason for him to tell the truth about what he heard about, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't talk to other people. He didn't talk to other immigrants and stuff like that. He know the damn truth. He didn't talk to them. And it's just reality. Let's see. Hold on. My bad, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all still on here, but hold on. I'm finna put y'all up. Let's see. Blood on Kamala's hands. Hey, shout out to that. You know, listen, look. Yeah. Sorry, you guys. I don't know if y'all still on there. I don't know if let's see. Dowdy. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I definitely get that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, look, man, it's crazy out here. Let's see. Let's go here now. Let's see. Trump. Hey, listen, look. Ocean 61. Yeah. It is what it is, man. Shout out to all you guys. You know, the thing of this is that I want the best for this country, even as a descendant of slaves. And I know my history. I know where, you know, what this country was built on and things like that, you know, regardless of the racial issues that we have or whatever, or, you know, whatever. I was born in this country. And regardless of the past and things like that, this is my home. And I want people to come in here the proper way. I want people to come in here how they're supposed to come in here, how they used to come in here the proper way, by the status and the situation and the programs that we actually have had in place for all these decades, that immigrants could come over here. But we have these situations here where they're being they're being you know, flew in and things like that, giving documents of representation, and they're in these small towns. And the point is, yeah, they're really placing people in small towns now. That's the reason why I said my live about the situation in Alabama. If y'all go back on my page, Sigalanga, I can't pronounce that name, but Alabama, y'all will see it on my page. It's one of my main videos. they're flying, they're strategically placing a lot of these immigrants into the small towns that, of course, don't get the same media coverage and things like that. That's the reason why it's starting to pop up now, slowly but surely, to where we're seeing these small towns having all these migrants and things like that in these places. And this is posing the economic problems with these small towns because they already are small. They don't have the government assistance that need to be had to integrate these people in to the school systems, the financial jobs, and all types of stuff. So yes, it's posing a problem on these small towns. This is what's happening. They're sneaking these people into the small towns. And the small towns are not sanctuary cities. But the thing of it is what I showed you guys, what Anton presented to us about the documents about they could be over here for 2 years and stuff like that, which gives them legal access to jobs and everything like that. They're sneaking them into these small towns and stuff like that to actually, get them in there, to get them into the country, because the sanctuary cities are overrun. And we see that now. The true sanctuary cities and things like that, it's obsolete. They're already kicking them out of shelters and stuff like that in the sanctuary cities. And these are true facts. But yeah, so they're sneaking them in there. I suggest, I don't care where you live at in America, if you're under the sound of my voice, check your small towns in your states. Like I said on my other video about the situation in Alabama, check your small towns. Because now that we know that they're flying these individuals over under this, temporary legal status, and you're busting them out to different places, they have to be flying them into your major cities in the states that actually have airports and stuff like that. Then they're busting them out to small towns. So yes, check your small towns in your states out there. See what's going on. This is how it starts. The invasion starts under the table. It's not going to be loud. It's going to start in small places. This gentleman right here, he has a Nissan Altima, this and that. He wants to try to sit around here talking about, well, it's a Nissan Altima. I'm getting it at high interest rates and this and that. I mean, it's a lot of people that's buying cars in this country off high interest rates. You know what I'm saying? You just another fucking mouth to feed that ain't supposed to be here in the first damn place. And it just is what it is. It just is what it is. And it's sad to say, but this is what's going on here. This is how it is. And we having a huge problem with what's going on here, especially as Americans, man. Especially as Americans. And then we have, some of these people coming over here that are ungrateful. Listen, look, hell, be glad you got a Nissan Altima. It's a lot of natural born American citizens that can't even afford to get that Nissan Altima that you fucking complaining about, son.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah. But it is what it is out there, though. You know what I'm saying? Listen, look, man, shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this live tonight. Shit, mad love to you guys. All my subscribers. Yeah. Show me some love out there. And protect yourself at all times. It's a new day that we living in, and it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. Hopefully we could protect ourselves, and hopefully we get the right people in office pretty soon. They can actually shut a lot of this shit down. And we get back, and be honest with you, we as Americans, natural born Americans, we can get selfish because we need our corporations to keep stuff at home. You know what I'm saying? We need to make more money at home than we sending out to the rest of the world. We need, as Americans, to stop being the workhorses for the rest of the world. We work and we buy cars from shit that's made in fucking Mexico. We work, we buy cars that's shit that's made in fucking Japan or wherever. You know what I'm saying? We work hard over here and we buy stuff from the rest of the world, providing them with yachts and homes and this and that, woo. But shit though, what we got? What we got out here? What we do? We work and we provide the rest of the world with their amenities. I really think, and I know, matter of fact, I know that it's time for America to get back selfish and we actually do what we need to do for us over here. We need the jobs over here for us, and we need the actual wages that keep up with the inflation of our country. We need to provide for self now. I'm about selfish America.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
I'm about it. For our children, for our legacies over here, for us, I'm about it. 10 toes down. We about it. Shit, man, please. It is what it is, though, man. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.
We'll talk about that some other time.
Now I want to talk about it now.
Fred, I said we'll talk about that some other time.
You don't tell me what I talk about. You don't tell me what I talk about in my own house.
Don't you point your finger at my nose, Fred Sanford.
I'll point my finger at your nose and I'll point my foot somewhere else.
You vote? Are you gonna vote? Will you ask people that you know to vote, please? And will you ask them to vote for me? Thank you.
You can act like a man. What's the matter with you?